All right.
The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters. Well, of course, we're going to bring the news and reviews of your favorite brews. I am Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
Now, here's the fun thing. We all know 2020 has been a wild ride, but as I was preparing for what I was going to say in the intro of this episode, it occurred to me that as weird as 2020 was, there's several milestones that have been put into effect and that we've celebrated with this particular brewery and this particular gentleman that is with this brewery. Not only was our first recording there back in 2019, the good times, the good year, but we got to break in the new
That's right.
mixer when we were there.
First time we were there was the
right.
first time on the new mixer.
Yep, it was my last recording before I got my new job that I have now.
Okay.
This year, it was the last brewery we were able to record on site with.
Yeah, that was the last well, it wasn't pre-COVID. It was just
It
starting.
was early COVID. Even more, our esteemed guest joined us, you and me, Wayne, at Brewphoria.
Yep.
The first Brewphoria that we did where Steph wasn't able to make it. And now we get to talk to the man himself behind Stolen Sun Brewing as we are still sort of navigating COVID. But I'm going to mark this milestone as this is the Black Friday episode this year. We have the one and only
Jonathan Zangwell.
Thank you so much for joining us yet again, my friend. How are you?
So far, so good, I guess. It's good to see you guys, that everyone's
Likewise.
still doing what they were doing. It's almost like time never stopped.
yeah,
it did.
or it did stop. One of those two.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something
One of
like
those
that.
two.
I work in IT and I've been doing stuff like remote support and I have to chat with people. And the other day, someone was like, yeah, I just kind of lost track of time. I was like, it's okay. Time doesn't matter this year and nobody really cares. Like, I get it. It's cool, man. We got this.
Yeah, it's hard to actually remember before March 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is weird. Yeah, it's definitely it's weird. And I guess this
I want to point out that was Friday the 13th that we
Just gonna
last
say that.
recorded
Exactly.
Yeah.
there. And I stopped at the brewery November 13th,
Which was
was
also-
Friday the
Yep.
13th, to pick up some of the beer that we're having tonight.
wow.
And you know what's nuts is like I actually like listened to the podcast during COVID, like at two different times during COVID, and each time I listened, it was obvious how terribly wrong I was.
We all were. It's okay.
It was terrible. If you actually listen to that episode, the predictions are just absolutely terrible.
Well, I think it was a little bit of like nobody really knew what was going on, but it was a mix of that and kind of wishful thinking that it would just be over before anybody really knew, and it wasn't going to be that bad.
I think also maybe we all just grossly overestimated the capacity of our fellow citizens.
That's true.
That could be it. I
mean-
I do remember like after the episode, besides being inebriated, as I was walking down our stairs, I remember, and this was, we got shut down on the 16th. So literally it was a Friday right before we got shut down on the, we all knew it was coming and so did everyone else. But like our place was packed that night, if you remember.
It was, yeah.
And I remember walking downstairs and I had just come back from like Guatemala.
Right.
on
Oh,
coffee,
right.
Buying coffee. And I just remember because I was paying attention to it a lot when I was on, in another country because I was worried about coming back into the country. And I remember thinking, all these people are shoulder to shoulder right now. And this is weird that we're going to be shut down in like 2 days. And everyone's just kind of out trying to, it's weird. It was just a weird thought
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
back at it.
Yeah, I can certainly imagine.
I didn't realize there were so many firsts related to Stolen
Yeah,
Sun.
yeah. I thought about it like
Yeah.
not even 15 minutes ago. It was like, oh yeah, that was the first. That was the first. That was the first. This is like it makes perfect sense.
Very cool. Very cool.
I very much enjoy that. We've got a lot we're going to get to. Don't forget, you listening to this, the internet. There's another place that you can find us besides the spot on the internet that you already found us. Twitter and Instagram, we are at Beerbusters. Facebook, we are Beerbusters Podcast. There's patreon.com/Beerbusters where you can get yourself access to Last Call, get yourself the special behind the scenes feed. And if and when this thing ever goes away and we're allowed to be around people again, you'll get invited to recordings. And if we record in the Beer Busters basement, you could be part of the crowd there. There's plenty of goodies that you can get. And of course, there's also beerbusterspodcast.com, but don't forget to add /shop and get yourself some cool swag.
Yeah, cool swag in the shop. Check it out. Haven't put up any new designs lately. The time I would normally spend designing new t-shirt designs, I've spent doing pixel art and making 3D renderings of fancy chocolate boxes. That's how I spend my free time.
Okay.
That's a very Wayne thing to say.
But I'll come up with some new designs, maybe some winter themes. But yeah, there's masks, there's hoodies, there's t-shirts, there's stickers, there's magnets, all kinds of cool stuff. beerbusterspodcast.com/shop.
Ooh,
if you have a design idea, email Wayne
there you go.
beerbusterspodcast.com.
Yeah,
there you go.
That'd be cool.
Let me know. Or just message us on one of the various platforms.
Yeah, I mean, even if you send it to me and Steph, we'll get the idea to Wayne.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Not
just
a bad idea.
Get an idea out into the Beer Busters world, and it will find the right person, I promise.
There you go.
Steph's already drinking. John, I think you're already drinking. Why am I not?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're going to start with the Kolsch we decided, because that's what we do on this podcast.
All right, start
with
the
Kolsch.
there's never anything wrong with that.
Well, you can't end with Kolsch. I mean,
Well,
I guess
yes, you can.
late in the evening.
You should always start and end with Kolsch.
That's a good point.
I've got a little cooler box or a little cooler bag over here full with all just one of each beer that we're drinking on the episode, and it's already bursting at the seams.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
There it is,
Hey,
the Kolsch.
we found it. All right.
Why are you not playing Open the Kolsch?
I was looking for it. I don't know where it is.
We have a soundbite for opening
Yeah,
the
I was
Kolsch.
looking for it. This is the new iPad, and I had to manually do the soundboard, and I forget where I put it.
Nice.
So I'm trying to think, because I can't really remember much past November 1st. Did we have Suffragette City out when you guys? I don't think so. We really started doing a ton of canning, so it's hard to remember what we actually had or had not when you guys were
this
doing.
this is the first time that I'm having it, and I'm sure
Cool.
if you would have had it out before, I would have demanded we had it. So
Awesome.
Yeah, if this was in the offing, anytime you were on the show, we would have had it before.
This is incredible. Oh, my God.
I feel like this may have been your compromise to having a lager brewed at your brewery.
It's close. But I mean, Kolsch is a whole other, it's a great German style of beer. If you've ever been to Cologne, it's like a really cool German city where they just drink this type of beer. And it's amazing when you go to Germany and actually sit and drink nothing but Kolsch. But this beer, it's super clean, super crisp. We use a hop called Saphir in it, which is a German offshoot of a noble hop that's kind of been Americanized. And we call it Suffragette City, so it has it's our tribute to David Bowie.
Nice. Yeah, I got the reference to Suffragette City, obviously. I did not, Sapphire was a word I was like, I feel like I've heard that word before, but I couldn't place where it came from.
Yeah, it's a type of hop, and I think this was actually one of the first beers that we brewed at Stolen Sun when we first opened.
Oh, wow.
And then we kind of moved to the Sunny Wheat, which is, the honey wheat that we've had on.
Yeah.
And we just decided to bring it back. And I mean, the can art is a homage to one of probably my favorite albums in the whole world, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, which is an old David Bowie album.
Mm-hmm.
It even says R.I.P. David Bowie on it.
Yeah, it's a if you look at what the actual album cover looks like from Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, our graphic artist Corey Danks, he did an insane job with this label. This is one of those labels where we literally had a 3-minute talk and this appeared.
Nice.
You guys look confused.
I don't know.
I'm Googling the album cover so I
There
can
you
look
go.
at it side by side.
Oh, it's really cool, right? Did you find it? Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars?
I know I've seen it before. I can't necessarily picture it in detail off the
I'll
top of my
Google
head.
it, too.
Everybody's
It
gonna
looks just like this.
Everybody's gonna Google
looks
it
just
now.
like that. Yeah, it's amazing. But I mean, look at the hop guy. It's got our hop guy in it, and where it says it used to say K West, but it says K Olsh.
Mm-hmm.
So some really cool elements.
That's so cool. Yeah, seeing it side by side is really awesome, and you can really tell all the detail that he put into it.
Yeah,
It's
really,
amazing.
really
yeah,
captures
it's a
it.
great label.
That's cool. This is the second beer we've had relatively recently with a label inspired by an album cover. The one from
Sly Fox,
Sly
right?
Fox
Yeah.
was the Moody Blues.
That's right. That's right. Haze of Future Past.
There we go. The Days of Future Past. They had a Haze of Future Past, and I wasn't familiar with what that album cover looked like
Me
at all.
neither.
So we were like halfway
neither.
through talking about the beer, and they were like, "Yeah, so obviously it's based on the album cover." I was like, "Oh,
I, was like, I figured it was X-Men,
that's why it looks like that."
Yeah.
but everybody knows Rise and Fall is Ziggy Stardust. We all know
Yeah.
that. We all know Suffragette City.
Yeah, and Moody Blues is one of those, you never really had an album, but you knew like a lot of the songs.
Yeah, for
exactly,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah. But this album, like I probably listened to this album a million times. I mean, cover to cover, an amazing. Every song is absolutely amazing in the album.
Here's an important question: have you listened to the album while drinking the beer?
Ooh.
So during the release, my son, who's 13, he actually played the album cover to cover on keyboards and guitar. So
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
yeah,
Nice.
he's amazing. He plays quite a bit at the brewery.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you started that sentence with "he played," I thought, "Oh, it's probably he played the record like in the brewery or whatever."
No,
but I was
he
like, it would be so
rocked
cool
out
if he like
every
actually
song.
played. Yeah,
Yes.
that's cool.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
That's pretty awesome.
It is. And it was outside and, 6 feet of separation all over the place. And,
Yeah.
it sounded amazing, but it's just so weird today doing all this stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, but it's what we got to do.
hmm
This is
So
true.
we-
Well, as far as the beer goes, we have mentioned it's very delicious. What I like about it is it has a little more pronounced of a hop character than you might expect in
Yeah.
the style, which is kind of nice.
I think we pretty much dry hop every beer, and this is no
That
exception.
is kind of your thing, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of it. I mean, and it, just because you dry hop beer doesn't mean you got to push, like some of the other beers we're going to drink tonight, you don't have to push the limits. Like we add just the right amount to give it that, a hop touch without being, over perfumey because this hop would get very aggressive if we put too much.
You went
in.
overboard
So
with
it's
it, yeah.
just enough to kind of balance out the graininess and, and making such a light beer and actually just helps put the flavors all together.
Very nice.
I know you. So you mentioned the hop characteristic. I really like the way it comes across in the aroma, because it's very hop forward in the aroma, which I'm sure from the dry
Yeah.
hopping aspect of it. But it's really nice, and I think it's a nice complement to the flavor that comes afterwards, because it hits you up front with that, and then it's not as hoppy in the flavor. So it's kind of like it like eases some of the tension a little bit, especially if you're not partial to wanting to drink a hoppy beer like that. This is a really nice way to get the characters in both ends. I love it.
And this is how we get people to realize they actually like hops.
You can slowly introduce
We
it.
slowly inject the hops
Uh-huh.
until they're like, I remember when, it's like when I grew up drinking Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which I still love to this day. But back in, I gotta think of when I
You're
turned
gonna
21.
date yourself here? Okay, do some math.
Yeah, I know. Back in the early 90s, when I roamed the earth drinking beer, like Sierra Nevada was just, I remember how like perfumey that beer was, like how just the hops just reeked on that beer. And if you drink it today, the hops don't reek anymore.
It's like drinking water, yeah.
but
Compared
that's
to
how
the
you
IPAs
start them
today.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, they started they started all this.
They really did. They really
They did.
For better or
Yeah.
worse, I guess.
That's right. I blame them.
Yeah, it's all their fault. It's all their fault.
Oh, the honey amber.
Oh, is that what we're going to next? I'm excited to try that one.
Damn it. I'm literally spilling everything tonight.
You know what? Crowlers are like hard to pour out of. I don't understand.
They
They
are.
are. Yeah, for whatever reason.
I mean, if you don't get it just right, it goes like
Not right.
everywhere.
Steph is barreling us on to the next beer. I still have some Kolsch in my glass. And
I do too.
I do have a dump bucket here, but I don't want to dump
No,
this because
don't
it's
dump
so
Kolsch.
good.
That's why we brought like 17 glasses upstairs.
Well, I mean, we have.
There's more glasses right behind us.
Oh.
That's why I like recording in front of the makeshift liquor cabinet.
I just spilled the Crowler also. It's a mess.
Good.
We learned
it's
not that
terrible.
long ago to keep a roll of paper towels by the side here while we're
Yup.
recording.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there.
There you
I
go.
got him. I'm ready.
Gotta be ready.
What's a crowd without a little beer in your eye?
What?
Well, who was that?
That was Ken. Ken Carell from Human Robot.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, this pours beautifully, minus the...
I made a mess too.
Oh, that's why we have paper towels. Oh, this
So-
looks great, though.
Here's what. Obviously,
It's-
I know, John. You've got your.
But you know, the problem is you can see through it.
Oh boy.
Like,
the problem,
it's-
you say?
Yeah, right?
it's terrible.
So I know you have your hands full over there at Stolen Sun, obviously running a business just in general, but also during COVID. But I would
It's pretty easy.
I would challenge you though. I have an idea to invent a crowler that pours without spilling.
Can't do it.
Can't be done. You've looked into it.
No,
Can't
it's
be
not
done.
possible.
It's scientifically impossible.
You'd have to pay like $80 for a crowler.
That's okay. I could believe that. Maybe you should just punch a hole in the side and
To shotgun it? I mean,
no into the cup. Like just let it pour into it. That probably would make more of a mess.
yeah, probably.
Speaking of crowlers, so we've cracked open the only beer we have in a crowler tonight, which is the Honey Amber.
Gusta.
And it looks very amber and smells very, very amber and honey.
That's
Yeah.
Justa. That's what I was looking for. The name.
Justa. It's
Just a honey. Just a
amber.
honey amber.
Ooh,
That's it.
that's good.
Smells nice. Again,
Nothing,
getting
nothing
hops.
to see here. Yeah, Nuggets, Simcoe. What else we got? Cascade. Like very, very nicely hopped. We use our orange blossom honey that we get from a farm down in Florida. Crystal malts, nice body, good sweetness. And the honey comes in. I get the honey at the end of this
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
Like I definitely get a great, and again, another dry hopped beer.
Yeah.
But enough to get in the, in the nose, you get just incredible citrus, honey, a little pininess.
That's where it is.
Nugget is meant to be in an amber ale. I mean,
Yeah.
Nugget
I think
nectar.
so, too.
I was
to
just
this
going to
day,
say, yeah, this is
Pretty
like
much.
an easier drinking version of Nugget Nectar with a touch
Completely.
of sweetness at the end.
Nugget nectar is still one of my favorite beers ever, and I still look forward to the first week of January because of it. But I like this because it is a little easier to handle. It's not quite as it's still super flavorful, but that you're right, that honey at the end, just like
Yeah. Nice,
like
a little
a
bit of
nice
sweet touch.
pat
to
on
it.
the back. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's-
okay, take another sip.
It's a touch of dank, but not too
A
much.
touch of dank.
Yes.
Just a touch
But
of
the
dank.
pine, I miss piney hops so badly.
Yeah.
No one makes IPAs with piney hops anymore. It's nice.
We do. Uncle John's beer. It's full
Oh,
of pine.
true. You make all the IPAs.
We make a lot of IPAs. We really do. Actually, I was doing an event a couple weeks ago at Highland Orchards, and like we literally had like 8 IPAs and 2 non-IPAs. And anyone would ask is like, what do you like to drink? Because everyone comes and they have no idea what they want to buy. And it'd be really quick, like, I don't really like IPAs. And it's like, all right, we have these 2 beers here. And then it's like, oh, we like IPA. And I'm like, okay, we got 8 over here. You like East Coast, West Coast, hazy, clear, like, you name it. You want a double, a single? Do you want a session?
Yeah. It's interesting because we have a history on this podcast, and we've been better about it lately, of being not anti-IPA, just like over IPAs, I feel like. But, it's interesting to see your offerings and to hear you talk about them and realize that, like, it's not so much this, like, because our complaint was always like IPAs take over taps, like your 8-to-2 ratio demonstrates. But like you said, those 8 IPAs are very different IPAs. And I think you kind of forget like what a wide variety of IPAs there are out there because it's such a trendy style. It's always the one cool style that's like hot at the moment. But you guys make a ton of different, like from old school West Coast to this isn't even an IPA, but a hoppy amber to a bunch of hazies of varying sweetness and character. And if you're going to do IPAs, not just for the money, then it's cool to see you guys do such a wide variety of them and do them well.
Yeah, we're definitely hop heads.
Yeah.
We love hops. And we also make, IPA pays the rent, right?
Yeah, exactly. Rent check.
Rent check. That's right. Another first? Is that a first?
That
Beer
actually,
name?
yeah, that another first. A beer that was named after a game that we played.
Oh, right.
So many firsts. Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of rent, I feel like we should probably, closer to the top of the show, talk about the biggest news that you guys have.
Yes, please.
Oh,
This
Rent.
expansion of sorts.
More square feet.
yeah. So the gym that was attached to us, they closed down prior to COVID actually even happening. And I mean, actually, when you guys were there, we had a lease in hand for the space. Like we were ready to kind of take the space. And then 3 days later, we decided to kind of put it in pause. And my landlord ended up finding another gym that was ready to take the space. And we decided we needed the space. So we went ahead and we're now expanding into the whole building. So we're like in the process right now of building out a space in the middle of COVID. It's awesome.
Yeah, people are doing some crazy things. I mean, people are opening breweries and other businesses right now. It's
insane. It's a crazy undertaking. And you know, we already have our kitchen, we already have the brewery, so we're really kind of just like creating a great shell for us to grow into. And so yeah, we're doing what we can right now. Like we didn't really expect to be doing what we're doing. So we're creating a great shell. We're actually going to create some sort of a venue almost. So like the side that we used to be on is going to be still going to be dining, still going to be bar. The other side is going to be more like brewery. Mm-hmm. It's going to be more of that traditional brewery that you go and you hang out in when you go to like a larger brewery. And so now we'll have like 11,000 square feet. So we're going to be fairly well set up, kind of once we can get out of this whole situation we're in now, it should set us up fairly well to be able to grow our business the way that our business has been growing.
So that new space
exciting.
That new space will largely be like guest spaced. Are you expanding like the brewing part at all, or any storage?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, it's kind of interesting. In a gym, the gym had like showers and bathrooms, like lady and men's room. That butted right up to, no pun intended, to the to our brewery. And so like all of the like the drains and all the plumbing and everything was back in that area.
So there was a time where if like, a brewing assistant accidentally put a hose in the wrong connection, somebody would be taking a beer shower next door.
No, actually I purposely like separated. I don't know why I didn't fully think of the time where we would be in that whole building when we built it. 'Cause I'm usually pretty, crazy about doing stuff like that, but I really didn't. So I kind of always felt like I was going to be off of the grid and off of their grid. So we separated everything completely. So yeah, that
was never a risk.
No risk. But the cool thing is we're able to kind of bust out through that back wall, and ultimately, I mean, I want to be a manufacturer.
Right.
So, but the retail is awesome. And you don't want to give up the retail necessarily, but ultimately I want to grow the brand. I want to, buy more tanks, get more capacity. I want to start growing a little bit more once we're ready to go.
Right. Moving to more production and distribution.
Yeah, but still, I still want to keep the small batch, because genuinely I feel like our beer is brewed best in smaller batches.
Right.
You'll have to forgive me. I forget. Do you distribute at all at this point?
We use Lamb Beverage, and Lamb's been kind of distributing for us throughout, Philadelphia, Chester, Delaware, Berks, kind of all over the place.
Nice.
That's we started with them right before COVID, and we've kind of just, at this point, we're not on the street actively trying to sell beer. So they're kind of helping us distribute, and, luckily people are buying a lot of beer. People are drinking a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should see my house right now.
Yeah. I think we could all say that at this point.
Yeah, that's about
so
right.
much beer, but
Yeah.
I mean, I have a beer pretty much every day now. It's just part of like
Same.
something that just gets you through.
Well, and the awesome thing, like Upshot, and I know like this is just breweries are doing this to survive, but like the amount of beer you can now have delivered to your door,
Yeah.
is like never before.
Yeah, it's rarely been easier to get beer
and it's like,
drink
and
beer.
you know, it sucks because like for a lot of places, it's the only way they can keep any sort of income coming in. Because here, like in Philly, just today, indoor dining has been banned again
Done.
in the city.
As of like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, so you know, in Philly, like you can't even like when I was at Stolen Sun last week to grab some beers. You know, the place wasn't packed, but there were plenty of people there. A lot of people outside. Parking lot was full, and so you know, losing that taproom traffic is got to be really tough. But being able to get beer delivered to your door is a perk that we've said many times in the past several months. Is something that I think a lot of breweries are going to stick to even after.
Are you guys actually doing it? Like doing mail order beer?
Yeah, I mean, in Philly, there's a number of breweries that'll deliver to you, you know, either like next day or you put in an order and they have 1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah,
that they'll bring it to you. We did that a lot.
I just ordered more beer from Free Will.
Yeah,
Because if you spend $85, it's free shipping, and I mean it's so freaking easy to order $85.
Yeah.
So I got all the beer from Stolen Sun. I got a box full of beer from Free Will. I maybe have someone at Trogs right now getting beer because the Coconator just came out.
Nice.
Plus all the beer I already had in the fridge. I got a
Yeah.
case of Reading Premium at Sly Fox a couple weeks ago.
and we still have, and I don't know if you do, Steph, but Dan and I still have tons of the Black is Beautiful beers that we collected.
Yep.
I have been sharing those with people.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten to experience so many of them, and I have friends that kind of got late to the game, found out about the project, and kind of missed out. So I've actually been gifting some of my cans to some other appreciative beer drinkers. So I did just get the main reason that prompted me to do the Free Will order is they just released their Black is Beautiful collab with Harris Family and with
cool.
First Sip Box.
The brew box, First Sip brew
Yeah.
box. Yeah.
So that was one of the 4 packs that we got. I haven't had it yet. It's still sitting on my dining room table because I don't have any fridge room for it yet.
Yep.
And of course I had to pick up Mad Elf and Merry Monkey from Victory, like, you know, the beers that you typically get this time of year as well. So
Do they have a beer called Merry Monkey?
yeah, Victory does, and it's quite
Oh,
delicious.
Victory does. Victory
Yeah,
does. I'm
Trogs
sorry.
has
I
Mad
thought you
Elf,
said you were at
obviously.
Trogs.
It's both.
Well, and Victory.
Because it's not like our corporate monkey, which just hit the shelf.
I saw that just
yeah.
came
Corporate
out.
Monkey.
Damn
Dun
it.
dun dun.
I remember that beer.
This is the beer that'll make you forget the ass you just kissed.
Yes.
That's our tagline.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that one mostly fondly.
Oh, that's right. You actually, that was a beer we actually had in cans,
yes.
wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I remember
Yeah,
that one.
I love that beer.
I distinctly
that beer's so
remember that.
good.
It was very
we,
good.
we just released it again like today, actually, or yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So all that said about delivering, you guys are doing some delivery of your own as well, right?
I mean, we actually don't do a lot of delivery.
But you do offer it.
We did at the very beginning, and then
We can cut this out if this is all wrong.
It was
Wait,
kind of,
I thought you were still doing
it
the-
again
I thought-
within
yeah.
10 miles.
well, we're trying. You know, the whole. We just. I don't know.
It's hard.
It is. It's like we're a small family business.
Yeah.
I don't have like a lot of partners and stuff to like do stuff. It's just my wife and I. So, like, we're very lean these days. So it's not like we haven't fully figured it out,
Yeah. No, that's fair.
and we've been able to get by without it. So
That's
it's-
what counts. I mean,
we did start doing delivery at the beginning, but we were so busy at the pub with people doing curbside that I would be like out driving somewhere for $50 worth of beer. And, my wife and my GM would be like dealing with curbside without, totally shorthanded without me.
for many,
So we
many
just decided
times
to
more
stop doing
dollars
it.
of beers. Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It totally didn't make any sense. And I mean, 2 days after we saw you last, like we furloughed all of our employees. Only Chris and Owen, my GM, and Chris you met last time, our amazing brewer. Those were the only 2 employees we had left after that weekend, which was completely insane. I mean, we literally went from 20 plus employees to 2, and then luckily, like Chris's husband helped us out canning. And, we were canning with my kids, my 12 and 13-year-old were like helping us do. I don't know if that's totally legit, but
it's
like,
fine.
what else were we going to do? I mean, it was literally our family, my 2 boys, my wife and me, and Chris and her husband and Owen. And we did that for a long, long time.
You're probably safe because I think it was just the last episode of this podcast where we decided that no one who works for OSHA listens to this show.
That's right.
As of that's good.
So you should be okay with the child labor.
I don't think it's OSHA. I think it's the state of PA. So hopefully no one who works for the state of PA listens to the show.
Not an OSHA thing at that point. I don't know. Nobody important listens to our show.
You should have like some check boxes when someone logs on is like, are you affiliated with OSHA?
Do you work for the government?
Do you work for the state of Pennsylvania? Do you work for the PLCB?
Oh, God.
Oh, them.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean...
But hey... deciding that the delivery was just not profitable and not where your money was coming from, I think it's actually a good sign, because the fact that you still had people coming, even if it was just for curbside pickup, the fact that people are more than willing. I mean, because your brewery is pretty accessible. It's not hard to get to. It's an easy, it's right off a main road, and you're not like in a super urban area, but you're not in the middle of nowhere either. So I feel like
I mean,
deliveries.
With the other thing about us too is we have a kitchen.
Yeah.
So we were like, also to go food, to go beer. So that made a big difference. And that was much different, than a lot of my friends that have breweries that are just beer.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a pull to like people like, hey, I need to get a cheesesteak. I need to get a burger. I need to get, nachos. Like we were selling a ton of food. I mean, our food sales, we did, on the couple nights that we were busy, we did a decent amount of business. And, our folks around here supported us amazingly.
Very cool.
That's good. I got to say, as far as the food goes there, that burger that we had last time
the peanut butter
was incredible. Yeah, the Elvis burger. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I was legit, my mouth was legit watering over that burger the other day because I really wanted a burger, and that was just so perfect.
Yeah, that was a good burger. It's a weird thing, though, just the whole peanut butter and bacon. Very decadent.
It is.
That's one word for it.
Yeah. I started making, so I started cooking a little more over the past couple of months, and almost every weekend now I make these pancakes they're made with oat flour and applesauce is like the binding agent inside of them. But there's a peanut.
That's why you have applesauce in the fridge.
Oh yeah, I like applesauce. Don't get me wrong, but I mostly use it for the pancakes. But the syrup is a maple syrup and a peanut butter mixture, and it reminds me every single time of that burger. Every time.
Interesting.
So it's like a way to sort of satisfy the craving while also still longing for something.
Did you ever put bacon on those pancakes?
I've had bacon with them, and I've dipped it in the peanut butter stuff.
That's
after.
good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dipped it in the peanut butter stuff.
Can I get that crowler? I want more of that.
Oh, you want more of the?
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know we
should.
should, but I mean the crowler. Like, I don't want to waste the crowler. If we happen to not get to a can of beer, we can just put it back in the fridge. I mean, is there anything that he asks as he's pouring the beer? Is there anything that we should move on to, or?
I'm buying tickets to the Extreme Beer Fest right now.
Nice.
Don't. Oh, did you look at the beers?
When is it?
Don't look at the beers.
Oh.
I did look at the beers.
Oh no!
Our game today is about those beers.
Oh yes! I win. You should have told me that.
Well, I didn't think you
Extreme Beer Fest.
It's the Beer Advocate. Every year they have an Extreme Beer Fest. It's usually in Boston, where it's like crazy weird beers. It's online
this year.
Virtual,
and they're gonna mail me the beer.
So you buy a package of beer, and then it's Sam Calgione and the Tom Alstrom from Beer Advocate. Ahlstrom hosts like yeah, because usually, and I was going to say this in the intro to the game, this whole episode has just been blown up, like the most recent season of The Bachelorette. Everything's upside down now. So usually when that fest happens, it's very good to mine for ideas for There's Weird in My Beer, which is a game that we play on the show a lot. Because there's a lot of beers there that have weird stuff in it, but they don't usually tell you the beers ahead of time, at least not a lot of them. So you have to wait until after the fest is over and then like Google around different bloggers that talk about the beers that were there. And that's usually how I figure out what beers were there. But because it's a virtual fest, all the beers have to be decided ahead of time because they have to be shipped out to people. So they have all the beers already listed. So that's what I used for our game, which is all beers from that beer fest that now Steph has looked at and knows the answers to everything.
That doesn't mean I'll remember it.
It doesn't, but you're guessing last on every question now.
Oh.
So that no one can copy you.
Well, that's just not
and your win's going to get an asterisk like you were on steroids.
The fuck?
Home run derby.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the game we're playing today.
Cool.
Now everybody knows.
A little bit of a teaser, I suppose.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing.
And I learned about the virtual beer fest. So
yeah, and you
that
learned
happened
to ask. February
also.
5th and 6th, 2021, it is happening.
Is this a socially distant?
It's virtual.
Yes.
So it's all like the podcast right now.
Yeah,
That's
they mail you. It's 10 beers and 2 glasses, and then you also get access to all like the stream of like the shit.
Oh, cool.
I did one. I did one. Well, when was it? We did another one a couple months ago. It was kind of cool. It was like these panels of like brewers and people in the alcohol industry that would talk about different topics, and they had bands playing, and I don't know, it was kind of cool. And they sent a bunch of beers, and a couple of us got together and socially distanced and shared the beers, and it was a good time.
Good.
Kind of. Yeah. Everything's a good time kind of these days, right?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of.
Kind of.
I don't know.
Did,
I've always been a fan of being somewhat antisocial, so like
Yeah, but you normally have the choice to be antisocial.
that's true. Yeah.
I said that early on in this. Like, I normally like having the choice and declining to go outside, but then I just wasn't really allowed to go outside.
Yeah.
It's different when you can't choose to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touche.
Touche.
I agree.
Oh, man, I got multiple touche. I got 2 touches.
Two touches.
Touches.
It's a
Two
three
touches
shay.
and a microphone.
Are you going to get a three shay? The hat trick, the touche hat trick.
So I mentioned earlier, I may have been on the episode proper, it may not have been, that Steph's organization and attention to detail has been key in us being able...
I thought you meant Steph had started a charity. When you said Steph's organization,
Steph's organization.
I was like, hey, what? What organization?
Beers for kids. But she makes notes for every episode that we do. And
No. Kids for Canning.
Kids for Canning. I like that.
That's what we do at Stolen Sun.
I mean, you got to do what works, right?
It instills a work
That's
ethic.
right.
Yes. Builds character.
So Steph makes these notes, and I'm looking at the notes for this episode, and one of the points just says holiday gifts.
Oh.
So
totally. Since Stolen Sun opened, every year I buy a bag of Stolen Sun beans, coffee beans, to mail to my brother in New Mexico.
nice.
And I have a bone to pick with you, Jonathan, because when I was there were no barrel-aged beans, and I was very upset about this. So I got him your darkest roast, and I'm going to send him a bag of that. So it's okay. I'll make up for it in other gifts. But but I noticed on your Instagram, you have really cute holiday gifts with like a bag of beans and like the cup or the mug or whatever. And it's a really cute idea for a holiday gift. I'm sorry.
The holiday season's here. It's upon
Right.
us. And there's probably going to be a lot of sending gifts to people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good
And
point.
coffee beans not only
And
are a
coffee
great
beans.
gift, but they also act as good packaging material. Just saying.
Oh,
Instead
that's
of bubble
true.
wrap, buy coffee beans.
See, I was going to go with like the built-in, like they travel well and they don't really go
Yeah, you
bad.
just open the bag of beans and dump it into a box.
Don't do that.
Packing
Don't
peanuts,
waste the
coffee beans.
coffee.
You can still use them.
Yeah, just gather them up and
at
grind
all.
them.
I don't think Jonathan's ever been more offended than he is right now.
There's
He's a
farmers
hardcore
across
coffee
the
guy.
globe crying right now.
Yeah. Well, actually, I wanted to bring it up earlier. You can't talk about Stolen Sun without also talking about coffee because that's your other passion. You mentioned, you were in Guatemala right before COVID because you travel and do this coffee. What do you call it? Not judging. What do they call it? Coffee
Cupping.
There was another word.
Drinking.
Sure, drinking. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, you sort of had to, like everyone
Coffee
else.
grading.
Grading. That's the word I was thinking.
There you
of.
go. Boom.
Grading. That was
Nailed
it. Obviously, had to jump through hoops to figure out how you're going to navigate COVID with selling beer. How is things with the coffee side of the business been going through all of this?
The coffee has always been a fun thing to do, and we do all right. We sell a decent amount of coffee, but at the end of the day, beer is kind of paying all the bills.
Right.
But the coffee, I'm super passionate. I mean, I love, as we've talked many times before, coffee to me is every bit as important as beer.
But the business isn't reliant on the coffee. That's just sort of something you can do.
Yeah. And I mean, the other, we're just so short staffed and I'm, the one who's to this, like Chris handles everything in the brewery really. And so coffee is the thing that I'm doing, and I just fall short a lot of times in actually having time to roast. And some of our more popular roasts, they sell out pretty quickly. And then we just tell people, we just move people to different coffees, and we always have great coffee. I mean, every coffee we roast is, we don't buy a lot of coffees, so what we do buy is like really, really good. So yeah, I mean, we've been roasting some amazing coffees. The coffee that I bought in Guatemala showed up a few weeks, not a few weeks at this point, probably about 6 weeks ago. So we've been playing with that quite a bit. And that's actually the coffee when we get to Jumpy John's.
Oh, that's what's in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the coffee from Way Tenango is, and it's an amazing, I mean, it's a great batch. One of the things that I love that we do is like, I don't really get too situated in like what's in our beers. So we get to play around quite a bit. And Jumpy John's is one of those that we kind of, we always play around with the coffees that we actually use. So every batch of Jumpy John's usually has a different, depending on like what our either unicorn tiers or whatever our micro lots are is what's in,
Unicorn Tears is one of the best coffees I've ever had, by the way. You don't even need to put this to your face and you smell it. This freaking smells amazing. Right?
Yeah. What are you? Oh, you're drinking the. So what's really cool is tonight we have the beer duckin and the. Where did mine go? Oh, here it is. Did we have the can the last time we?
No, I definitely have not seen that can before.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, some of the can art Corey's doing is just amazing. Like, I love this label. Like, it's like that old classic movie theater kind of imagery.
Is that Let's Go Out to the Lobby?
Oh, yeah, it is. Look at that. Oh,
yeah,
that's so
it's
cool.
A lot of those, like, it's awesome. It's really cool. And it's like, the beer bottles drinking coffee and the coffee cups drinking beer. It's great.
Yeah, Steph, your face when you opened up this can and took a whiff was priceless.
Ooh.
And I can't wait.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
We add coffee and Jumpy John's in two different, we add it in the hot phase and then we add it in the cold phase. So we use we always use Hello Darkness in the hot phase. And then in the cold phase is when we put in our, like this is the coffee from Finca Beatriz in Way Tenango.
That's why you get such an amazing aroma when you open the can.
I need a minute, guys.
Very good.
Right?
Yeah, and I wondering, and I know we've talked before about infusing coffee and beer and like that process, and maybe we've touched on this before, but adding coffee on the hot versus cold side or both, can you kind of like, is that kind of like hop additions? Like, does it like impart like more aroma at one point?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we add the darkness in the hot phase, I really feel like it accentuates like the roasted barley that we use and the chocolate. Like, I feel like it really lends to a whole other like aspect of the mash, because that's where we throw it in the mash. And then on the cold side is what you know when you smell this beer, what you open.
Yep.
I mean, that's like, it's amazing.
And that comes from from the cold side.
It's so prominent. The coffee flavor, the coffee aroma is so prominent, and it makes for such a well-rounded flavor. And like the beer aspect of it is still there too. Like it's not overpowering. It just works very well.
You get the malt characters
it's
a lot.
a great harmony between all of that. And needless to say, over the years, I've had a lot of coffee stouts. This, I think, takes the cake.
What about COB?
Wow,
This
awesome. Thank you.
COB is great. Don't get me wrong. This is just...
It's also not a stout, but...
It's not, right. But this is fucking great.
All coffee
Holy
beers
shit.
are measured by the yardstick of COB from Free Will.
Yeah.
Well, no, hold on.
Oh, man.
When I was in Vermont, when I was doing my residency week at Drop-In Brewery, Otter Creek was miles from the Drop-In. And at the time, they were producing the Walliver's line of beers, which have been defunct. They haven't been made now for years. But they had the Alta Gracia coffee porter, which was literally my favorite coffee beer on the planet. Like, I would go back to my hotel room after class, and I was drinking bottles of that beer in my bed, watching TV, trying to fall asleep. So I was like distraught when they dropped that line and Otter Creek stopped making them. And I remember sitting at Otter Creek on a lunch break one time, and they were telling us a story about how they also did hot side and cold side. And the one time the beans, or I don't know if it was beans or grounds. I don't know how they added it on the cold side. I don't remember that part of the story, but they got stuck in the conical fermenter. And the girl behind the bar was telling us a story about how he had to remove the cone and how he was like up to his knees in like beer and coffee beans and sludge, but it just made the place smell amazing. But this, as soon as I smelled this and sipped it, it took me back to being in Vermont and drinking that beer. So it brought back really great memories. But this is like, this is what coffee beer should taste like.
Ooh, can
phenomenal.
Building off of that story, can I make a request and possibly offer a suggestion?
Is this before or after the
that we all
portable
could take a
growlers?
trip to Vermont?
Well, I mean, there's that. I mean, it was a suggestion.
Well, if we do it now, we have
for
to
John.
quarantine when we come back.
It's true.
Socially distant, of course, right?
Yeah.
Separate cars.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
But
Post-COVID.
We're gonna wear the body condoms. Wasn't there a movie where there were body condoms?
one of the Naked Gun movies.
Yes, I was gonna say it was.
Yeah, it was definitely Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
If you wear a body condom, do you not have to quarantine?
If you wrap every inch of your body in but see, that's the thing, because you have to poke holes to breathe, but those are the problematic holes that you need to cover.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, fuck.
This is true.
I'm also writing down problematic holes.
That's a good thing to write down.
Wait, did Dan finish his thought?
No,
he didn't.
I got interrupted by problematic holes over
I'm
here.
so good at interrupting. I'm sorry. Continue.
So we're talking. Obviously, the beer is great and it smells great. And Steph is talking about when things make a place smell great. I think you should make coffee scented candles that are made
That's
with
a
your
great
own
idea.
That was
beans.
your idea?
Yes, because there have been some weird smells in this house lately, and I would love if it smelled like coffee all the time, all over this house.
Do I need to send you cleaners?
No, the house
When
is
was the
clean.
last time you cleaned
the house?
the
Is clean.
house?
The problem is there's a cat litter box upstairs, and
Yeah.
a cat,
When was the last time you cleaned her litter box? They need to be completely cleaned every few months.
every few months.
Yes. You
What?
take all the litter out and you clean them and put
Oh,
fresh
you mean
litter
that?
in.
I thought you were like, what I was like, when the
Yeah,
fuck do
you
you
scoop
scoop
it.
your?
No, like
Every
full-
3 months. You
full
have 3 months
clean.
of cat shit just piled up there.
No, you empty the shit every day, but
It provides-
you need to do,
it's
like,
a unique
full
terroir.
clean of it.
It's like, what am I doing wrong that I'm scooping the
the
shit
shit
every
out, yeah.
day if it's only supposed to be every couple of months? But no, I would love if my house could smell like your
know,
coffee.
Not a
I
bad
would buy
idea.
a coffee candle.
I
I'm
think that's as
certain.
opposed to cat shit. So that's kind
That's
of
true. Coffee is
Of-
better than cat
Of all
shit.
the better scents that are out there, I can
Yes.
think of nothing better than filling my house with the
Well,
smell of stolen
If
Sun
you
coffee.
brew coffee, your house will smell like coffee.
I
too.
do, but it dissipates after a little
You
bit.
know how much
like,
coffee we drink? We brew coffee in this house all the time.
all the time. I would love nothing more than at like 6 o'clock to light a coffee scented candle and have it smell like your coffee.
It's a good idea. I don't know how to do that, though.
I'm sure
I
it's
mean,
been done.
me neither. But I mean, well, yeah, obviously, but not with his coffee.
Yeah. There's probably a company out there you can contact that specifically infuses candles with whatever you want.
I'm going to check something. I'm going to see what happens when I go.
There's
to
a
the website.
huge, I discovered recently, and I don't remember why I was looking it up, but there's a huge scratch and sniff market out there of like scratch and sniff inks you can buy. And they have like catalogs of like pre-made scents, but you can also like design your own.
You might be able to buy coffeecandles.com.
Oh, somebody parked it.
Oh, is that what that is? All
Yeah.
right.
If it's not a host,
Oh, true. That makes sense.
that means
All right,
somebody
parked
bought it and
Yeah,
parked
never
it.
mind. They probably want a lot of money
it's going
for
to be
it.
expensive.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Oh, has anybody checked out beerbusters.com lately?
No.
Because we don't own that, and years ago somebody wanted like $5,000 for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's look.
That's why we have beerbusterspodcast.com.
You know, it's weird. Like initially, StolenSun.com was taken by like a video game.
Oh, really?
A video game?
Yeah. But I kept watching it, and I realized this was before we had even opened. This was a while before we opened. And I kept watching it on those sites where it tells you like when they registered, when the last time it was used, when this,
Right.
and it seemed like something like it was like a dead website, and it was a weird video game, Stolen Sun. And then it just one day, like I kept watching, I knew when it was going to drop, and it dropped, and I grabbed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Swept in there and scooped it up.
Swept in.
They had you ever see the show The League? Anybody? They had an episode about that where DallasCowboys.com lapsed and one of the characters bought it, and then he sold it to the Dallas Cowboys for $250,000.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it is.
There's probably people making a living doing that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
that's
definitely
why we
people.
don't own beerbusters.com. Somebody's making a living buying and selling domains like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm okay with beerbusterspodcast.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Jumpin' John's Java
Creepy
Stout
smile.
It's great, right?
is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
It
and
is
it's so
freaking
the-
delicious.
the base is an oatmeal stout as well. Just as an FYI.
Is the base something you've done as another beer, or is it just made for this?
Yeah, so the base is, it's a oatmeal stout I probably brewed for 20 years.
Oh, okay. Have you offered
Yeah.
it at Stolen Sun before without the coffee?
Have
Just the oatmeal stout?
Yeah.
Have you just
Yeah, I forget what we called it. We did do one batch without the coffee, and then everyone was so disappointed that it didn't have coffee in it. So, and it's hard to be a coffee roaster in a brewery. Like anytime you make a dark beer, everyone's like, "Oh, it should have coffee in it." So
yeah.
it's like, all right, well, we're just gonna make coffee beers.
do you guys do cold brew at all?
We do, and we had started doing it right before COVID, and then it just kind of became a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So we will do it again. Just
When you have less things to worry about.
yeah, I mean
that's fair.
it's nothing that's going to make me $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
So you kind of push that stuff to the side and try to figure out like what do we got to do to keep things moving.
Well, what made me think of it was if somebody orders a stout or a porter, or, whatever, that doesn't have coffee in it, and then complains that there isn't coffee in it, you just give them like a 5-ounce taster of cold brew and like, here you go, just dump it in your beer, and now there's coffee.
Yeah,
in
but then you're just watering it down.
That's true.
That's a terrible idea.
All right,
I don't want
all right.
people doing that.
That wasn't a good one. The rest of them have been good. That one.
Yeah,
wasn't
the rest
good.
have been good. You've had some really good ideas. That one though, not good.
I'm gonna stand by my candle idea.
They can't all be winners.
Yeah, the candle idea, good idea.
According to Google, you can make coffee candles using used coffee grounds.
Oh, that makes sense.
You can upcycle the used coffee grounds. And Jonathan, I feel like you guys probably have a lot of used coffee grounds in that brewery slash roastery.
we don't sell a lot of hot coffee these days.
Yeah, it's probably just bags of
Really?
beans.
Well, I mean, now that the pub's open again, yeah, we do sell like, pour overs and stuff, but we used to make, like the big thing of coffee, and we stopped doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no sense in making a delicious pot of coffee and then nobody drinks it. Like,
Well, and we're not even open till like
Yeah.
lunch.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
the
true.
morning business is gone for the time being.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when no one was going to work, remember?
Right.
And we just never. I don't know if people are really going to work still, but
I am.
Yeah, if
yes,
you're
I
a
know you
fucking
are,
teacher.
Steph.
Yeah.
You're a trooper.
More power to you. Holy shit.
Even though we're switching to virtual or to remote, I will still be going to work. I will still
Oh
be
wow,
teaching from
you still
my
got to go
classroom.
in.
Oh, you're
That's a
teaching
good-
virtually from the classroom.
Yep.
Interesting.
I think that's a great idea.
I mean, all my stuff is there, so it's
I
easier
always,
for me.
I always wondered why the first time when everything got shut down, why teachers weren't doing that.
As long as all my coworkers stay healthy,
Yeah.
then I'm okay with it. Just don't bring any germs to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real tough situation.
How early were you guys open in the days of people actually going to work? I remember it was early.
I mean, we started doing really early, but I don't know if you remember our space. It's kind of hard. Like, as much as we're like on Route 100, which is a major thoroughfare, it was kind of off in the back and no one really kind of knew where we were,
Yeah.
which was very odd because you've been to lots of breweries that you really have no idea where they are.
There's some really
We're
strange
literally
ones.
off a major road.
Yeah.
Oh, so another big news, we have a new sign. So where
Yes,
everyone
on the side of the building of the gym.
Oh,
where
I
the
did
gym
see that.
sign
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So like where everyone used to come in and say, you know what is a really good idea?
A sign.
If you had a sign, that would really help you guys grow. And so now we spent a lot of money. We have a beautiful sign. And
It
it's
is
huge.
very beautiful. It is huge.
Huge.
Huge. It is huge.
It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's like Lucky Sign Shop. They put it together for us, and those guys are amazing. The sign is unbelievable. Like, we're super psyched to have it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now,
you know what?
hold on. I wanted to ask this earlier and then we got off topic. Do you have a target date for the new space? Because I think when you and I first started talking, you were saying like December 1st. And I'm going to be honest, after being there last Friday, I feel like the new space is not going to be open December 1st. Unless
Why do you
like,
say that?
Well, it looks like you still have a lot of work to do.
Well, we're very efficient.
Well, I believe that.
So
Also,
here's
what
the
he
deal.
said, it's going to be like a traditional big brewery. It's just going to be like picnic tables and bare concrete.
big space.
Like,
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Point taken.
So, but to your point, yeah, the other day, but like the painters kind of finished up this week. I'm the GC on the job, so like I pretty much every day I'm in there trying to get people to move to do things. We are looking at December 1st, and realistically, what's the date today?
20.
the 20th, November
The
20th.
20th. Oh, 10 days. We're fine.
Fine.
We're good.
Fine. A lot of things can
But
happen
now-
in 10 days.
But now we're actually really kind of looking at like what's going to happen in the next few days.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think the world as we know it is, which is really weird that we're doing this right now, because I feel like this is the same thing that's happening
Deja
every
vu.
time I talk to you guys. This is terrible.
Yeah,
I'm
three
not
three
talking to
days
you
from now,
guys
you're going to be
again.
shut down again.
We're not. This is the last podcast we ever do together.
Oh shit.
This is it.
No.
It's
Don't
the
break
first
up with
and
us.
the last.
No, don't
Dude,
break
this
up
is
with
it.
us.
Listen,
It happens
listen,
every
listen.
time we see each other. This is terrible.
Might I just say, the next time, if we were to do another podcast with you, when we do another, at the time that occurs, Donald Trump will no longer be the president of the United States. I think that's enough.
I mean, you say that, but come on. Are you 100% sure?
We don't know
about
that until January 20th. We don't really know that
I'm
for
not
sure.
making any more predictions that
Right,
I gotta
right.
listen to and be like, I was such an asshole.
Remember when we
I
were so
cannot
naive
believe
and
I
thought
ever
democracy
said that.
was still going to
There's-
work?
I'm not going to be listening to this in 4 months going like, what an idiot I was.
That's fair. That's a good
I'm
point.
not agreeing to anything in this
I'm going to
podcast.
just knock on all the wood I can see.
Yes.
I don't think this is real wood. Keep knocking.
Come on, it's
Whatever,
IKEA wood.
just-
It's better.
Is it?
Oh my god. But yeah, things are changing right now rapidly, and like Philly's like shut down till
who
New
knows?
Year's.
Who knows?
the CDC saying don't do Thanksgiving. The state just issued more stringent mask orders, the traveling quarantine, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know.
And people just aren't going out.
Well, yeah, and in light of all that, like I think a lot of people reasonably are being like, oh, we allowed ourselves to be a little more loosey-goosey the past couple months when numbers were relatively low.
Yeah. I think we're all guilty of that.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Chicago in October, and like that was a trip I like was mentally like struggling over. Is this okay? Like, am I being a terrible person? Like, what is... But I feel like the time that we went was like the beginning of October, like was probably the lowest ebb between the peak we're in now and the last one. So, So who knows? I mean, in PA, the indoor dining may go away again outside of Philly. I kind of feel like it's not 100% going to, because I feel like it's become much more politically difficult to institute that sort of thing now than it was the beginning of in the spring when it all started.
Well, here's the deal: is I think this time it's not necessarily the government has to shut anything down. I think, and it's conversations, we're having internally and conversations that I'm having with, other friends in the business. Like, I think we're probably pretty close to just doing it ourselves, like not having the government tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Because like, honestly, like the last few weeks they've been rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just as a bit, people, and I don't really, I don't necessarily know if it's a good idea, bad idea, whatever. I don't disagree with it, but people just aren't really going out.
Yeah.
And the folks that are going out, sometimes, you're having to remind people to like wear a mask.
Yeah, well, because just broadly speaking, the people who are going to be more willing to go out and socialize and do things are the people who are not taking precautions seriously. Unfortunately,
I wouldn't say like not taking it seriously, but I think that it's right. You're not far from what's going on, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's people that don't care. I think it's people that are, but we do get people still to this day that come in without masks that ask you like, oh, you mean I got to wear a mask? And it's like, well,
I mean, yeah,
it's
obviously.
the law, so
that's
yes.
like.
Well, I don't necessarily know it's a law, but like just as
it's the lowercase L law.
Like literally a week after I saw you guys last, like we were already all wearing masks. Like I haven't not worn a mask. Since, I'm just used to it at this point.
I've gotten to the point where I think about the mask I'm going to wear the same way I think about the T-shirt I'm going to wear.
That's weird.
I know, right? I have a formal mask. I have a casual mask.
Yeah, when I went to that wedding, I didn't wear the Flyers mask or the Captain America mask. I just wore a plain black mask.
I did go to a very small and intimate wedding ceremony a few months ago, and I deliberately broke out the plain black mask that I don't normally wear because I was like, this is a formal mask.
See, I think the problem for me is like if I've gone out to breweries and bars and places recently with a couple of friends, and I'll wear the mask. But the problem is when I'm out drinking with my friends, it feels like such a good old time that I just like if I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom, I forget because I've been drinking, so I'm not on the top of my game. But also I'm just in a mood of like, this feels like the before time, and then I have to remind myself that I need to wear the mask when I'm not at my table.
Usually when I forget the mask, it's actually on my chin. I've just forgotten.
Oh no, mine! I always like. I'm at the table. It's tucked in my shirt
I do the
pocket.
chin thing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually will just be like sitting down and not even realize it's such like a terrible time to own a very social business.
Yeah.
Because like all my, I have so many like friends that we've kind of gained from being open, and everyone wants to see us and how we're doing and how our family's doing. And I walk around to tables all the time, and it's just like I used to walk around like with a beer, like hang out, shoot the shit. And now it's like it just feels weird. It just feels so like disconnected, and I'm always like, am I making someone feel uncomfortable? Like it makes the whole social aspect really tough in our business.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting point is that it's the weirdest thing about it is the social awkwardness because we all have this like this unspoken set of rules that we follow in social situations. You meet someone, you shake their hand,
Right.
you smile, you're talking, you know what, all these little social things that we do without even thinking about it. And
Or
now
you want to hug someone. You
Yeah,
just want to
exactly.
hug someone, and you're like, like friends that you
Yeah.
hug every time you see him, and you're like,
and it's
let's do the knuckles, which I actually think the knuckles are a great idea. I'm super happy about that. I think the whole handshake thing is kind of weird. And I'm glad knuckles are a thing.
Yeah. I agree. And as somebody who sometimes has sweaty palms for no good reason, I can get behind the not handshake thing.
Yeah, the knuckles are good. It's like, boom, there we go. We just pounded it out. It was great.
It's interesting though, because we haven't really had the time to like invent a new social norm in these, but like we're starting to. Like I feel like weird shit. Like at first, like you walk down the street with a mask on and you smile at someone and you're like, they can't see me.
It's
smile.
crazy. Why
they
am I
can't see me
smiling?
smile? So now you do a head nod or you do this. And when you meet someone now, like the handshake thing, like you do the fist bump and everybody's like, they understand. Like I think we're starting to catch up slowly socially to the weird things that are going on and like redefining these like social traditions, these little dances that we do. Which I don't know, just from like a broad perspective is interesting to see.
We all need to thank Howie Mandel because he's the one that sort of mainstreamed the fist pump. The germaphobe.
That is a sentence I never thought I would hear anyone say. We all need to thank Howie Mandel.
Well, he's the one that like made the fist bump like a
He
true
kind of did
thing
because
he wouldn't shake anyone's hand.
He is famously a germaphobe, and Mark Summers, he's also a germaphobe and always hated getting slimed, but he did it because he liked the paycheck.
Really, I met Mark Summers and put my arm around him.
Yeah,
He's a germaphobe.
I met him a couple of times.
Hated it
back in the day when he first started hosting, he was a diehard germaphobe. Like he was.
I feel bad now. If I would have known, I would not have put my arm around him for that picture.
No, the couple of times I met him at the radio station, he was more than willing to like put his arm around for a photo or shake a hand or whatever.
He's not a germaphobe then. Howie Mandel would never put his arm around.
No,
So I
what
guess
you
he's-
don't know is that he travels with a tub of sanitizer, and as soon as he gets out of public, he just dips himself in it.
He's got a body condom now. Let's be honest.
Oh man, except for the problematic holes.
Yes.
Okay, so John had a really cool idea when I was chatting with him. They have the same beer that is double hopped and triple hopped, and I kind of want to do this sooner than later. I know we're getting to game time, but I kind of want to do this
let's
before the game.
let's do the double and triple side by side.
I mean, we also
Jonathan-
need Steph. You need to drink more so you forget the answers to the game.
Okay, I can do that. Jonathan, do you first tell us about 6 feet of separation because it's timely,
Yeah,
of course,
so-
and then kind of get us into this double, triple, dry hopped comparison.
So this beer, we brewed 3 days before you were not this recipe. We brewed 3 days before we last saw you guys, and it was initially.
Now, hold on. This would be a terrible beer if you brewed this 8 months ago.
Exactly. This is 8 months old, double dry hopped, hazy IPA. It's gonna be terrible. You're gonna love it.
We told you we're not doing punishments anymore, right?
Yeah. So, but this started out as a collab that we were doing with PJ Wellhands, and it was originally supposed to be
That's the double.
a pineapple double dry hopped IPA, and once we got shut down, there was really no outlet, so we just started hopping the hell out of it, and and we kind of called it 6 feet of separation. And so what we do is we double dry hop the full batch, and after we double dry hop, we centrifuge and send over to the bright tank. What's left in the fermenter, we dry hop again. So same portions of the hops, but it's literally like a double dry hop, and then the same exact beer then gets dry hopped again.
Okay, all right.
So, are you going to like tell us what we should expect, or do you just want us to experience?
I'm gonna say
this
yeah.
and
Like,
share
are
our
we
thoughts?
going to go in blind on this?
I mean, do you want to go? You want to do the double dry hop?
I would
do here.
venture to guess that the triple dry hopped will be hoppier.
Have you? I mean, do you have 2 glasses, or are you?
I do. Yeah, I'm doing.
Perfect.
I put
I'm
double
doing
in the
Side
that
by
too.
side.
Same, yeah. Double in the short one, triple in the big one.
It's easy to remember.
Oh, there's definitely an aroma difference.
For sure. All right, I took a sip of the double dry. Very nice flavor. It's got a real nice ending flavor.
Hold on.
It rounds.
Can we talk about the aroma first?
Yeah.
Well, sure, fine. I just I had already sniffed, and now you're talking about it.
Is that your triple?
This is the triple. Yeah.
Can I see it real quick?
Yeah. You gonna spit in it?
No,
Can I see it?
there was a distinct difference in the aroma between the two, but in the second one, for a second, I thought there was like residue of the coffee beer.
See, that's what I thought too, and I was like, oh, it kind of smells mapley, but I figured it was like
does
leftover
have
sweetness from the coffee.
a brown smell. Does that make sense?
Ew.
It smells brown. I say these things and I don't mean them as insults. It's just my brain is weird.
There's something. No. So the aroma smells very similar, but in the triple dry hopped, I feel like it's definitely more pronounced. Like I don't necessarily mean it's stronger, but it seems more defined in the triple dry hopped, if that makes sense.
Well, I think it comes out different too. Like we use Galaxy, Mosaic, and Idaho 7 in this beer, and so I think like when on the double, I think I tend to get a lot of the Idaho 7 comes out pretty bright in it, like the dankness, like that. Idaho 7, I always think has like that dirty tropical fruit dankness, like very like fermenty, like fruit that's been sitting on the counter just a day too long is Idaho 7 to me.
Yeah, totally.
And I think on the triple, I think the Galaxy, that like just amazing Galaxy nose pops out in there with some of the pineapple from the Mosaics, and I mean the Idaho's still obviously in there, but it's much cleaner. I feel like it's much sweeter in the double dry hop and like very bright in the triple dry hop.
I feel like the double leans more citrusy and the triple leans more tropical pineapple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is what I meant by brown.
Jesus Christ. You doubled right down on that.
Yep.
But this is probably the 4th time that we brewed this.
Yeah.
So like since we last saw you, like this beer has been doing really, I mean, it's a fantastic beer, super freaking hoppy. I mean, everything I love about IPA is in this beer.
The double, there's a really nice pronounced biscuity after flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really
like
dig
more
that.
mouthfeel, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely creamier.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
where the triple is like straight juicy fruit to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hoppy as hell, that triple. And I would say like 60% of people probably like the double and 40%. I mean, not that they don't like one or the other, but I feel like there's a little bit more preference on the double than there is on the triple, where I'm a triple 100%. I love the triple. Like for me, the brightness of the hops, like super bright dry hops, awesome, delicious.
So you're the guy that goes in the back and puts your head in the bag of pellets, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm just eating them. Yeah.
No, don't eat them.
We did that on the show once. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Terrible idea.
Dan did.
Terrible, right?
No,
Dan,
I'm not stupid.
it was only Dan.
Oh no, I wanted to do it strictly as a joke because I knew how bad it was going to be, and I did.
You're at La Cabra, right? It was La Cabra.
Yep.
Dan ate a fucking hot pellet.
Strictly for the joke to make an ass of myself.
You licked the fucking yeast juice off your finger when we brewed at homebrewed events.
That was one of the worst things I've ever done.
Yeast juice.
That's one of the worst things I have ever done in my life because it was so vile.
It was a little like,
So-
what do you call a little
All right, look.
pack?
I'm not
You
going to
should
pick one
always
because
ask before you put something in your mouth.
he's dumb.
Well, it was already on his hand.
Yes,
If you,
It's fair game.
if you don't know what it is, ask before you put something in your mouth.
I actually have video footage of that. Because we filmed that because we were brewing a beer.
That's
We were
right.
doing a podcast episode and doing a homebrew at the same time, so we were like jumping back and forth. So we filmed it, and I have a video clip of you. I think it's on YouTube.
Probably.
in the video of you. You have a little bit of yeast residue on your finger after we pitched it, and because you did the honors of the pitching. And you looked at your finger. I think you like looked at the camera, looked at your finger.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shrugged your shoulders and then just licked it and then made the worst face.
Yep. Do me a favor. When this episode comes out, put that video on our Instagram.
All right. You think I'm going to remember that?
Well, that's what I'm saying while it's recording.
Now.
What date does this episode come out?
27th.
Next, Black Friday.
Oh, right. You said Black Friday. Yes.
Time is a construct. Nothing matters anymore. I did that kind of just to be a stupid asshole, and that's what I am.
Oh, it's funny. I mean, you accomplished what you set out to do.
Hey, that's what matters.
I just
Yes.
want to say, hold on. Let me finish my sentence, Daniel.
Nobody interrupted you.
I'm speaking.
You
I
interrupted
just-
yourself.
Wow, I like that. I'm speaking. I think that should be.
Do you know where she got it from?
I know where she
Yeah,
got
all
it
right,
from, and
good.
I think it should be a fucking motto
It
that
absolutely
we live
should.
by. I'm speaking, especially.
Oh my God. Hold on. In the YouTube video, you put on, there's font at the beginning and it says, spoiler, Dan eats yeast.
Oh,
Oh man.
Oh boy.
I forgot
but
about that.
I wanted to say I don't want to choose which one I like better because I actually am quite enjoying the experience of having them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that anyone who gets to the brewery or can purchase the beers, I would open both or have both at the
Side by
same
side.
time because it's really nice to go back and forth and notice the slight nuances that each of them has and compares it. I think it's a nice pairing.
Yeah, it's a cool experience, I think, because it's really like it's the same exact beer.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing, and we're literally like putting the same components, and it's just like one more heap and helping. And I think it's interesting. Like I'm triple dry hop all the way.
Well, that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, it does track. Total triple. Like the more the better.
Yeah.
Right? Triple definitely better than double. But I think people do love the double. I mean, I think it's a great beer. I mean, it's, honestly, like you make a hazy beer with Galaxy and Mosaic and Idaho 7, it's like, you're done.
You've ticked the boxes.
You've checked it all. You're like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
we have the best hops in one beer. Perfect.
Yeah, I really dig the side by side. I find myself gravitating towards the double because I'm less of a hophead than you and probably less of a hophead than I used to be. But I do appreciate the triple, and it's really fascinating to taste the differences because we've done side by sides with different yeasts.
Yeah,
We've done
yeah.
side by sides with different
Right.
hops, and it's always fascinating because like it's cool to drink a beer and think about it and taste it and talk about what we're tasting, but to actually have like an objective, like measurable, okay, this is the same beer with another hop addition.
Yeah.
is really
It's not
cool.
like the
to,
yeast where you got to ferment two different things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like things happen, they change the temperatures.
Exactly.
This is literally like, it's one more week in a fermenter with another dose of hops.
Yeah. It's really cool to drill down into that nuance.
Yeah.
That it adds.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how like bright the hops actually get as you add that extra dose.
Yeah.
I'm watching the video waiting for the Dan eating the
I was
yeast
just
part.
waiting to watch Danny East. It's the best part of the whole video.
We never got that beer.
No, we didn't. We kept.
No, because it's soured.
Yeah, it turned into a
boy.
sour. It was supposed to. Was it an IPA to begin?
Yeah,
was an IPA with
blueberry
blueberry.
IPA.
It was a blueberry IPA.
Oh, there it is.
YouTube.com/Beerbusters Podcast. It's there. Homebrewed events.
I'm sure I can do plenty more stupid things on film that we can put on there.
That's true. That was fun. That was a cool
Yeah,
video
it was.
to do.
It was. It was
I
a good
enjoyed
time.
that.
Well, I don't want to chug either of these beers
Speaking of fun.
because they are worth appreciating as what they are. But should we transition into the game that Steph is going to win, apparently?
Yeah, let's.
Wow,
There's a dog. There's a dog. A dog has joined the stream.
This is Hops the dog.
What's up, Hops? Oh, my God, I want to pet Hops.
Come on, Hops.
Oh, my God.
She's an Australian Shepherd.
Yeah, she
She's
is.
She's got David Bowie eyes, a blue one, and a.
Oh, my God. Oh, she's
Yeah, she's a good
adorable.
girl.
She's feisty.
Aw.
Oh my God.
we could never do this at the brewery.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, doggo.
Oh,
Oh,
Aw.
now we heard her. She's been recorded.
yeah, she's a good girl.
Yeah, she looks it.
Yeah, she so Hops we have two Australian Shepherds. Hops is the younger of the two, but during COVID, like she would follow me in and out of the door as I was delivering. I was the guy chosen who got to deliver all the food to cars and beer to cars. So like Hops would follow me, and people would always be like, "Oh, there's Hops," and she'd like follow me out. And
Oh.
I mean, she's awesome. Like, would totally. She was my like service dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's
She kept me
it's
sane a
like
lot
a
of
good
times.
marketing tool. I would come back repeatedly to see the
some
dog.
people did. It's like, oh, where's
to see
Hops
the
at?
dog,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, well, Hops is at home today.
Aw. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
You could train her to like hitch like a little
here you
like toy wagon to her, so she could just like deliver the beer herself. Just like walk up to the car and it's like there on the back.
Right. Sometimes, like at first, she didn't know what to do, and she'd jump into the back of the cars, and I'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't take my dog.
We're going for a ride.
Oh, that's amazing.
Buy a case of beer, get a dog.
Yeah, she would just jump in and be like, but it was also weird because everyone was so sketched out. Like I was putting stuff in the trunks and was like trying not to breathe the air in the car and trying to be. It was just a terrible, terrible time.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah,
it really was. And like all of our friends and customers, you'd have to like, it just, everything was so awkward.
Yeah.
It still is.
It is.
But that was
And
like
it's-
super awkward. Like in April, it was like
the
terrible.
beginning.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
we were all trying to get used to the new normal, and now
And
the
you're
new
just like,
normal
you're
is
just like
horrible.
handing people their stuff. Like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, thank you.
And also like that was a time when, you know, in general, we just knew a lot less about how the virus spread. So it was like, I don't know if I
it was
look
on
at you wrong, are you going to
surfaces,
get
it was
sick?
like all-
yeah.
yeah.
And now it's like a little more like we kind of understand how it spreads, so that helps. But
Yeah, definitely.
you do also have to judge. It's interesting. I know we're trying to move along to the game, but
That's fine.
there's a lot to talk about with COVID.
Is there a game?
Oh, we're going to play a game in a second. A game that Steph knows all the answers to already. But
No
game.
pressure.
Watch her lose now.
Yeah, I
'cause
know,
we
right?
hyped it
That
up.
would be funny.
I hope you don't, Steph.
Thanks. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Nobody's getting punished, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. That's true. Let's move
You
on to the
know,
game.
my memory is like,
Plus, you've been drinking. Well, no, your memory's.
Both of you
You're a
guys.
teacher.
I have literally thought, and I haven't done it yet, but I have literally thought I could go back like 3 or 4 years and just do the exact same game from an episode back then, and you guys would have no idea.
Oh, we've done that.
Totally.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But I've always said we were doing it.
Oh, right.
Like we've had episodes where we went back and played
yeah,
it,
but no,
replayed,
like you could just blindly.
but I could just
say,
do it and be
yeah.
like, yeah, this is a whole new game, even though we did the exact same game in 2014.
Yeah, when you guys come and visit us on like April Fool's Day or something, totally. Like that's the way it works.
There, you heard it here first. April Fool's Day, 2021.
You did. All right, let's do it.
2021.
Here we go.
After we all have our
No, you keep saying what
Yeah.
you're saying,
oh,
man.
okay. It's all
Finish
good.
your
We
thought.
need to be vaccinated.
Oh, after
before
we have our
find out.
vaccine, is that
Exactly.
what you're
That's
getting
what I
at?
was saying.
Yeah.
After we all get our vaccinations,
right.
like boom.
Yeah, we're
Like
good.
as soon as I get my vaccination, I'm gonna have
It's
all
like-
kinds of fun.
Fuck you, I'm coming up.
That's right.
I am invincible now.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
It's like you can still die. Other things can still get you.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, Internet. And welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, the podcast trivia segment that does not work for the government. Today, I had a whole intro written and everything, but, Steph had to blow it all up earlier in the episode. So, yeah, we talked about the Extreme Beer Fest. It's happening virtually this year, like all beer fests that are still happening are happening virtually. February 5th and 6th, if you want to partake, like Steph has done, go to beeradvocate.com. Not a sponsor, I'm just saying. You can do that. So, and as I said earlier, this is like literally everything I had in my intro has already been said. But because the beers are now a package that's being delivered ahead of time, I know what the beers are now instead of waiting until the fest is over to find out what they were, to incorporate them into a little game that we call There's Weird in My Beer. So that's what we're playing today. This is a game where I will tell you a little bit about some of the beers featured in the 2021 Extreme Beer Fest, and you must guess what the strange ingredient in that beer is. And like I said before, Steph now has to go last on every question. So we're just going to alternate between Dan and John going first.
All right.
And Steph is
So
always
wait,
going to be last.
we don't know what's in the beer. You're gonna give us a name.
And I'm going to give
and
you
then from that
3
name-
multiple choice options of what the weird ingredient in that beer is.
Wow. All right.
And I'm
so-
not going to tell you the name of the beer because a lot of the names of the beer will give away what the ingredient is.
Okay, I got you.
So if it was like, Bob's Happy Birthday Porter, there's birthday cake in it. Like that would be too easy. You'll get it as we go along. We'll start with Dan and he'll show you how it's done.
Oh, yeah, sure, I will.
I hope Baby Juices isn't one of the beers.
It is not.
Perfect.
All right. Beginning to my left with Dan, our first beer of the game. Try staying right side up after drinking this big old barley wine that cracks 11% ABV from New Jersey's own Carton Brewing. Under all that booze, you'll find a pair of ingredients that infuse the brew with a flavor of a time-tested dessert. Are those ingredients strawberries and vanilla beans, pineapple and cherries, or apples and graham crackers?
Ooh, my God. I think I will.
Wait, is there a hint that's giving during this? It's just a.
I mean, if you pay attention, there might be.
Oh boy.
What was the first one? Something in vanilla?
Strawberries and vanilla beans.
Can we start this again? I like. What's the style of beer?
It's a barley wine.
Barley wine.
Barley wine.
It's
So
from,
what are the three
it's from
options?
Carton. It's from Carton Brewing
Oh, shit.
in
Right.
Jersey. Carton.
Good call.
And it has 2 ingredients that mimic a traditional, well-known dessert thing.
All right.
The 3 options are, Dan's going to guess first, strawberries and vanilla beans, pineapple and cherries, or apples and graham crackers.
Thank you for the clarification. I'm changing what I was going to say. I'm going with B.
Pineapple and cherries. All right. John, what do you think?
I'm going with apple pie.
All right, going with the apple and graham
let's
crackers.
be- they all sound delicious, and I would try no
I
matter
mean,
what.
they do all sound good.
I'm just gonna say, like, why would you ruin a barley wine?
Well, yeah.
Because it's the Extreme Beer
Well,
Fest. That's what they
be
do.
Let's be honest. Carton puts some crazy shit into beers.
Okay, perfect.
All right, well, Steph, what did they put into this beer?
Pineapple and cherries.
Yeah, you are correct because you already know.
Darn it.
Yes, the barley wine is brewed with grilled pineapple and maraschino cherries. It is an ode to a pineapple upside-down cake. It's called The World's Turned Upside Down,
I like it.
which is true. It has. It's also depressing. So let's all get drunk on a beer that tastes like cake.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do
Why
it.
not?
Yeah.
Grilled pineapple.
Barley wine with pineapple and cherries.
I love grilled. I almost made. It's not pineapple, but I almost made a grilled cheese earlier.
I love grilled pineapple, but I made something that wasn't pineapple.
No, I was gonna use. I was thinking like what fruit I could use in there. I was gonna do.
I like shrimp. What
I-
about shrimp?
Yeah, right. I was gonna do a grilled cheese with like some sharper cheese, and I wanted to do a grilled apple slice or two in there, but I didn't have apples.
I did a pineapple, grilled pineapple and cheese.
I don't have pineapple. Oh shit! I have pineapple.
That would be
So
interesting.
close. You're so close.
So close, and yet so far. All right, let's move
Never
on.
saw someone get so angry over fruit.
So angry over fruit.
This is the new me.
Yep, yeah, apparently. All right, moving on. Next beer. John, you're up to guess first on this one because Steph's always going last. Next up,
She has all
more.
the answers.
Yeah, I know. That's why. So you guys can't copy what she says because she probably knows. More big booze, and this one comes from Brazil. This one boasts an international trifecta. The beer du jour from Rapas Cervejaria,
Yeah.
a Brazilian brewery.
Oh, this one I can't wait to try.
A Brazilian brewery presents a Russian Imperial Stout with a Japanese kick. We're all over the globe here.
Oh shit.
All over the globe.
All right.
What is that Japanese kick, John?
I also have this ingredient in my fridge right now.
Is
Wait,
it?
I have to guess.
Oh, so
have
we
to
know,
guess.
we know it's got to be refrigerated.
I'm going with a Japanese beetle.
Well, I'm going to give you options.
Oh, you're
He's
giving me
gonna give
options.
you multiple
Okay.
choice. It's a Japanese
I mean, you can go with that, but that's not the answer.
Yeah, Steph doesn't have beetles in her fridge.
All right, so let's just remember it's a Russian Imperial
maybe I
Stout.
shouldn't have said that. I don't know what his options are.
It's a Russian Imperial Stout from a Brazilian brewery with a Japanese ingredient. Is that ingredient sake, miso, or wasabi?
Ooh. I'm going wasabi.
All right, going with wasabi, Dan.
I know you repeated it, but for fuck's sake. Let me make sure I got it right. Russian Imperial Stout from Brazil with a Japanese ingredient.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna. I'm sorry. Sake,
Miso,
miso, and
or
wasabi.
wasabi. Me so tired of repeating this question.
Oh, stop.
I know miso's a thing. I don't know what it is, but I don't think the other two
Umami.
make sense.
Miso
So I'm
is
gonna go with
umami.
that.
All right, so you're going with miso.
Yes.
Finally.
Ooh.
Steph, what's the answer?
It's red miso.
It is miso.
Wow.
Steph and Dan are correct. What is miso? Let's find out. It's not just soup. in case you were
It's
wondering.
umami.
It's not just
It's a traditional
Umami.
Japanese seasoning produced by fermenting soybeans with salt and koji, which is a kind of fungus, and sometimes includes rice, barley, seaweed, and other things. It comes in 3 varieties, as Steph mentioned: red miso, white miso, and mixed miso.
There's brown miso too.
Oh, and there's also brown miso. This beer is made with red miso.
Miso.
Guess what it's called? It's called black miso.
What the fuck?
I guess because the beer is
Because
black.
it's a Russian
Because it's a
Imperial.
Oh, God.
it's a Riss.
Oh,
so.
no.
There you go. That's that one. Moving on to our next beer of the game. We're coming back to Dan to guess first. And we return to the US of A. This is another brewery making the best of a rough situation. The Lost Abbey in California is bringing a barrel-blended sour to the festivities. This beer has 2 adjuncts, neither of which are particularly strange on their own. The first is vanilla, but the second you might not expect. Is it grapes, beets, or lemons?
Bears, beets, Battlestar Galactica.
I'm going to say lemons.
Dan is saying lemons. John, what do you
I
think?
have reasons.
I'm going with beets.
Going with beets. I always go with the beets. And Steph, the answer is?
I wish it was beets, but it's lemons.
It is, in fact, lemons. Once again, Dan and Steph are
I
correct.
think Dan cheated.
No.
I should put
I
an
feel like
asterisk
I'm
next
the only one out of the what not to put in beer competition.
No, I have a reason. I have a reason for that. One, I've learned how his brain operates, being his brother my entire fucking life, but also
All right,
living with him for
fine.
4 years in our adulthood. But when I was in high school, I would always get milk to drink and lemonade, and at the end, I would just when there's just drops left, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, I put them together, and they kind of work. And I know milk isn't expressly vanilla, but it is creamier and adds the same mouthfeel that vanilla does. Done.
Okay, that's fair. So, yeah,
It was right. Yes, you're totally right, Dan.
vanilla and lemons. You're right. A decidedly not too weird combo, especially by the
It
standards
just seems like something's
of
gonna
this
kernel.
game.
It seems like
Exactly.
it should be bad. Yeah,
It seems like it should
No,
be
it
good.
seems not good.
But
Like
here's
if
the-
you said I'm making a beer and it has vanilla and blank, lemons would probably not be the first 10 things I think of.
No.
I mean, and it may still not be good.
It might not.
Maybe not. Here's another trick. If you're baking something and you don't have buttermilk, you can add lemon juice to milk to make it curdle just a tiny bit.
You can
Ah,
also add
interesting.
lemon juice to soy milk and it'll curdle.
Yes, and the cornbread I've made recently has been soy milk with a little bit of that in it in place of buttermilk. And it is perfect.
For more healthy food tips,
Wow,
visit-
this is totally informational.
It is. It is. We're all learning a lot. This beer is called Divine Reading.
That's
The
a
Lost
bad
Abbey,
name.
yeah. It's an
Or
ode to,
is it Divine Reading or Divine Reading?
It's probably
Oh.
Divine Reading.
It might be Divine Reading.
It's probably Divine Reading. And it's
Totally
meant
Divine Reading.
it's meant to be an ode to lemon meringue pie. That's
Oh.
like
I
what they
I
were
could
going
kinda-
for.
I mean,
Which, when you realize that, you're like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes
yeah,
sense.
but meringues also aren't vanilla until you add the extract.
They're also pronounced meringue and not merengue.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but meringue's just like, egg white.
It's just
right?
egg white and sugar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Yeah, it's not like.
And sometimes you add the
There's no
vanilla
vanilla.
extract to get the vanilla flavor to it.
Sometimes
after
you
it's-
add flavoring.
yeah.
Probably vanilla is very common. But
Sure.
all right, so moving on to our final beer of the game, and
This game sucks.
I don't.
This is the worst game I've ever played. with you
You're not
guys.
wrong. You're not wrong.
It's terrible.
This is usually where this is where I decide
I'm gonna make the beet beer too, by the way.
vanilla and
Nice.
beets.
Do it.
I
That
would-
would be
Yeah,
good.
drink
vanilla
that.
beet.
It's
I
a nice
mean,
earthy flavor with a little bit of sweetness. Yeah, do it.
can make
It's
it
gonna
work.
be huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Sweet beet.
So huge.
Sweet
Huge.
beet. There's the name.
Sweet beet.
Sweet beet.
Sweet. No,
Sweet
it's got to
beet.
be sweet beet, bro.
Oh, jeez. Hold on. I gotta write that down.
Sweet beet, bro.
It's terrible. I have a notepad that I keep with all my good ideas.
Oh, your
that I
good
come
ideas
up
in it,
with.
and apparently
Yep,
other
I
people's
do.
too.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
So
is a good idea.
while John's
I
stealing
love
our intellectual property, I'm gonna recap the
I mean,
scores.
Ret Check did pretty well for us. So
yeah, well,
I'm
that's
just
good.
gonna
I'm glad it
say-
did. I'm glad it did.
I think he.
You are
made
the
us
only
beer.
person that has legitimately changed the answer to a game after the fact. Because it was fake when we
true.
played the game, and now it's real.
And exactly. I
You might
won
also
that game because
you might
of that.
you did. You might also be the only person who's actually seriously used one of our ideas that we came up with on the show. And we've given people plenty of fucking ideas. We've given people sheets of ideas.
Sheets.
Yeah, I mean,
vast sheets.
I'll take ideas. If they're good, I'll take them any day.
They usually
So
are.
next year, I expect to see coffee candles.
Ooh, coffee candles. Hey, that's a good idea. I like it.
There you go. It's been done. You can probably buy them on Amazon.
Done, but it's not his fucking coffee.
You just burn the beans.
Just, yeah. Burn the beans.
Turn the roaster up to 11 or whatever. And then
Sad farmers across the earth.
God. I'm going to hear it from the farmers. Don't at me, farmers. Don't at me. Anyway, we got one more beer left in this game. Dan and Steph have a perfect score. Steph, no surprise, because she knows all the answers.
I have no chance.
3 out of 3. John, you've got absolutely no points
chance.
at all. You've got every
chance.
single one wrong. So I still going to make Steph go last, but I'll let Dan go before you.
Are we still drinking beer?
Oh, I still have
Absolutely.
the double and triple side by side in front of me. I've been sipping on it. Anytime somebody else
Notice
talks
how,
for a minute, I
thick
take
and
a
juicy
sip.
the double is. It's it's delicious.
It really is. Not bad at all. One more beer. Let's do it. Let's get this over with. Dan.
Yes.
One more boozy brew to keep you toasty. This one from Modest Brewing Company in Minneapolis. This is an imperial lager for a sweet tooth. It's got vanilla beans, lactose, and a whole lot of a particular treat.
I'm going to say, hold on. I think you should let Jonathan go last.
This is the beer that would make Chris lose her mind.
Yeah. She loved the Pop-Tart beer.
The imperial lactose infused.
Lager.
What else is in there?
But it's a lager.
Yeah,
I hear
imperial
you.
lager with vanilla and lactose.
Yes.
Chris would lose her mind.
It's also got a lot of something else.
Oh, God. Chutzpah.
All right, I'll let John go last, but Dan's going first. Is that something else? Marshmallows, gummy bears, or chocolate chips?
Oh, fuck whoever made this.
Wait, what? Gummy bears?
Marshmallows or chocolate chips?
All right.
Vanilla, lactose, and...
Marshmallows, gummy bears, or chocolate chips?
I mean, I knew that. I'm just, talking it out.
Well, people forget I'm saying it again. This isn't a visual. It's not like the answers are on the screen and people can see.
In a lager.
In a fucking imperial lager, yes.
Oh, there's so many things. Fuck it. I'm going to say marshmallows. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Dan is saying, fuck it, I'm going to say marshmallows. Steph?
It's marshmallows.
No
Jesus
way!
Christ.
Marshmallows. John?
I'm going marshmallow.
Going marshmallows. Yeah, finally gets on the board. Everybody correct. It is marshmallows. It's called Special Reserve
Hold on.
Mallow.
I finally get a fucking break. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking
Oh, it matters.
Well, you beat me.
Yeah.
So there's that.
You Dan somehow still got a perfect score.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, neither do I.
I don't get it either.
I don't know. I've long since stopped trying to figure it out. Yeah, Special Reserve Mallow. It's from Modest Brewing. They say it's an imperial lager with marshmallows, Madagascar vanilla beans, milk sugar, more marshmallows, and aged in an oak fooder, just for good measure. So there you go.
That sounds fucking awful.
There you go. Yeah, it doesn't sound that great. Steph will have to tell us how it is because
I
Steph's
feel like
actually
my
going to drink all
stomach's
these
gonna
beers.
hurt if I drank that.
Yeah. So, as to your question earlier, John, about is there a hint? There was a hint to every answer in every question.
Damn it. I didn't get it.
Shall I recap what those hints were, if you're curious?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's hear it.
All right. So the first beer was based on a pineapple upside-down cake. The answer was pineapple and cherries. In the question, I started by saying, try staying right side up after drinking this beer.
Okay.
The second one was miso.
But you know what? But it didn't really seem like it was an upside down cake because you didn't go maraschino cherries. It was just like cherry and pineapple.
We say pineapple and
I
cherries.
I should have got that.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I can't make it too easy, can I?
You could.
I could, but I don't.
I'm a guest.
Well, yeah, but then I have to make it easy for everybody. Second beer was miso, and I called it the beer du jour. Like the soup du jour, the soup of the day, miso soup. See, they can't be too easy. They can't be too
Yeah,
easy.
you're
The
right.
next one
I
was
should have got that.
The next one was lemons, and I said we go to a brewery making the best of a rough situation. Life handed them lemons and they made a beer out of it.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
And
sure.
Finally, I said one more boozy brew to keep you toasty, and the answer was marshmallows.
Wow.
So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the last 10 times we've played this game, I've been dropping these clues in the
Nope.
questions.
Nope.
So
I'll
now
listen
you know.
carefully next time.
Because honestly, if I don't give you a hint, it's really just a random guess.
yeah, pretty much.
So there are hints in the question, so pay attention. Next time we play this game in the future, the answer is in the question.
Well, I feel like the beer name thing was more of my speed.
Yeah, that one is a little
I
more.
think we've done that the last couple times.
I mean, I don't want to say pedestrian, but
This kind of threw me off. Guess what's in the beer?
fair enough. But I was getting a bunch of emails about the Extreme Brew Fest, and I'm like, oh, that's always a great fest to get weird beers from. And then, because the lineup was decided ahead of time, we've been over this so many times so far. But this is the part of the podcast where we shout out to our most generous patrons on Patreon. And today, we have a brand new patron
Yes,
to welcome
we do.
into the fold.
Woo!
Donating at a level, not just new. Usually a new patron gets a shout out regardless of their level of donation because they're new. This person has donated at a level that they will continue to be shouted out
Yeah.
moving forward. So we would like to welcome you
Donald Trump.
We-
All right.
Oh, I'll take his money. I don't care.
No, he's spending his money on more important things right now.
Oh,
Staying
really?
out of jail.
Well.
So our new patron, we would like to thank you very sincerely for joining the Beer Busters family. Chris Mahoney, thank you so much.
You don't know their cats.
We don't know their cats. The delay is annoying.
hate
You're going to have to push the button a second
I
before
know, and I
stop
keep
talking.
trying to. Some of them,
gonna be weird.
Some of them fire right on as soon as I hit it, and others there's a delay, and I don't understand it, and I hate this fucking app. If anybody out there knows how to make a soundboard app, fucking do it, and I will pay you for this
Can't
of the Beer Busters account.
Can't you just buy a better soundboard app?
They don't exist.
They have to.
This is
I don't
still,
believe you.
This is still.
I don't believe
I
you.
have done research.
I don't believe you.
A month ago, I did the research.
I don't believe you. Continuing on with our patrons, Dana,
We're fucked.
Oh boy.
Sean Sullivan,
Oh, well,
PA Brew
I
Review.
love how big it is.
See, that went right away.
Yeah, I don't know. Topher Simmons,
Don't ever call me that.
Poor Man's Brewing Company.
I like German spark party, spark party, spark party.
Jill Chive,
Where's your glass?
James Lamberg,
Pay my annual fee, motherfucker.
Eric Dixon,
Quaffing.
Jed McDonald,
No.
Brian Mills,
Sprinter Dan.
Ron McDonald,
He's got a hair done.
and you know him, you love him, Joe Mansell. There you go. That's what you get, Joe. It's the best we could muster. If you want to find out how you can get on this list and all the other cool behind-the-scenes perks that come along with supporting the podcast financially, go to patreon.com/beerbusters to learn how you can become part of the exclusive family. But now we need to make money in a different way, Dan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make an app.
Dan's going to make an app. While he's doing that, here are some commercials.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
Today's episode is brought to you in part by Vinyl Me Please. Vinyl Me Please is a record of the month club. In fact, it is the best damn record club. Every month, Vinyl Me Please features one album that is essential to the modern vinyl collection and sends it to thousands of members worldwide. Each record is pressed exclusively for Vinyl Me Please, with features you can't get anywhere else, things like bonus tracks, inserts, colored variants, and they all come packed with a 12x12 album-inspired art print and custom cocktail pairing recipe. Yeah. If you want to try Vinyl Me Please, you can go to joinvmp.com/beerbusters to sign up today. Again, that's go to joinvmp.com/beerbusters to join Vinyl Me Please today.
So what beers do we have left? We have the Beer Duckin'.
The beer ducking.
There's some Baby Juices. There's the election one.
Baby juices. I threw that one in just because we had to do baby juices.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, wait, we've done Baby Juices.
Of
I was like,
course.
but it's Baby Juices.
I do have to say, our game in baby juices has been up. Like, Chris has made that beer so freaking good.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those beers where, at some point, I was really ready to just ditch it.
Really?
Kind of. And then we just kind of worked we worked hard at it, and we got it into a place where I think it's fantastic. I mean, the beer, like for a session beer at 4.7 to have as much flavor as what we've done to this thing is amazing. Yeah.
Did you ever think when you set out to open a brewery that someday your most like solid, steadfast tentpole offering of a beer would be called Baby Juices?
You know what? Every time I think about it, I think of that scene in Trading Places where it's like, "Here's your $1, Mortimer," and it's like, I did it. I made a beer called Baby Juices. It sells, and people buy it and they love it. Like I've been delivering beer to places where someone's like, "Oh, they have Baby Juices," and I'm like, "This is the best." Like, I really feel like I've really made it now.
And people recognize that beer, like, "Oh yeah, Baby Juices."
Baby Juices. I love Baby Juices.
Oh my!
It's great.
We won't isolate that clip.
Yeah, I love Baby Juices. What's wrong with that?
Come to
There's
Soul and
nothing
Sun.
wrong with that.
I love Baby Juices.
I love Baby Juices.
Let's drink some Baby Juices, shall we?
Okay, let's.
Yeah, that's a good
fucking
idea.
Baby Juices.
So Baby Juices is a session hazy IPA.
A session hazy, juicy IPA.
It's a beer for the people with a, depending who you ask, amazing or unfortunate name.
Yeah.
Did we talk about where the name came from last time?
We did it. I think the first time.
Probably first time.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
John, would you like to remind everyone where the name Baby
I don't
Juices
even know
came
where it came from.
I don't even remember at this point.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
lost to
remember. I
history.
mean, that was pre-COVID.
Nothing
That was-
pre-COVID matters.
Pre-COVID Baby Juices.
That was
Like,
BC.
yeah, I mean, it was just like a session. I think like everything was like being named Baby and Juice, and we just were like, "Oh, let's do Baby Juices," and it kind of stuck.
This is like if you said to me, if someone came to me and said, "I don't know what a hazy IPA is," I would say, "Drink this beer." I feel like this is a encapsulation of the style. It's not milkshakey, it's not too sweet, but it's got all those boxes that the hazies want to check, and not a lot else. Like there's not a lot of frills. It's just an easy drinking hazy IPA. So if you're someone,
and the crazy thing is, it's 4.7%.
yeah, so
4.6. Like to have like what you're saying, all those like juice flavors, and be that low in ABV is like, it really is tough to do.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's another thing. Usually, like the juicy hazy IPAs tend to, I mean, they're not like barley wine levels of ABV, but they tend to like, tick up a little bit.
Well, there's 6.5 to 7.5%.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like once you get over 7, it's like, okay, this is a bit boozy.
Yeah,
And then once you get over 10, it's like, okay, this is boozy.
this is definitely boozy.
But so to have it in
I'm
going to
get in trouble.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're at home.
Mhm.
You're right.
Although that treadmill's calling your name.
I know. Don't do it.
Don't do
No.
it. Don't blow your knee out.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. You'll see Uncle John cry real quickly.
Uncle
So you
John
could brew
cries.
another, you could brew another beer, Uncle John's Tears.
Uncle John's
Uncle
tears.
John's tears. Oh.
Treadmill tears. Oh boy.
Another
That's
beer.
what the no. That's what the lager's going to be called. Uncle John's Tears.
Yeah. See, but you could brew another one. It's called Basement Treadmill.
Basement.
Chris's
That's not that
Cheers
great.
and
Yeah.
John's Tears.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh my God. So I would, as long as we're giving you ideas and telling you what to do with your business, which
Sure.
we've been doing all
I
night,
always look for good ideas of how to make my business thrive.
because you didn't have any ideas of your own, right? Like,
I have all my ideas are generally either bad or not appropriate.
that's fair. I can relate to that.
And then we do them because they're my
fuck it.
ideas.
Yeah. I would be interested to see a similar recipe as this, but in a more traditional, like non-hazy IPA. Because there's a lot of things about this beer I really like. There's a couple things I'm not sold on, and those couple things are the things that like make me not hugely into juicy hazy IPAs. But I feel like there's some really cool hops going on here. There's some really cool character going on here. And I would be really interested to try a version of this beer that wasn't a hazy IPA.
It was clear.
That was more like like a West Coasty or even a malt backboned East Coasty, whatever. But like, I mean, I don't remember what hops are in this beer. I can't be bothered to remember the
I can remember Citra,
it's on the
Mosaic,
can.
and Lemon Drop.
There you go.
Boom.
Good hops.
Nailed
Those
it.
hops would make a great traditional IPA
And there's
as well.
there's a touch of Galaxy in it as well.
Oh, just a touch
Everything should have a touch of Galaxy.
Yes, touch of Galaxy to add some like high end kind of notes to it.
No, I actually would be interested to see this hop profile done in like a saison.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very crisp. It could
Yeah.
lend itself to that sort
In
of
a
dryness.
cleaner, clearer beer.
Yeah.
It would be it is a really nice hop combination. I agree. I think that would be fun.
There you go.
You know
We
how
should do it.
they like crossbreed hops and try to come up with experimental ones? There
Yeah.
should like any
Most hops are experimental at this
Right.
point.
So if anything has like bits of galaxy in it, they should name it after galaxies. There's like Milky Way and Andromeda and like
anything that's got
like QX13
Galaxy
or whatever
and
the fuck
its
or I don't
provenance
know.
or whatever.
Yeah, just keep going with that.
That's a good idea.
See, I'm not full of bad ideas, right?
I like that idea.
Every
The
like
touch of Galaxy series.
every one
touch
out
of
of like
Galaxy.
15 ideas is good.
You're gonna be like, this one has Uranus in it.
Not a galaxy.
You don't know my anus.
Hi-oh.
I mean, we're going spatial.
We're going spatial.
We're going spatial.
We're going to space.
Going spatial.
We're going spatial. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I mean, also like experimental hops are like usually like before they become widely used are like just a string of letters and numbers.
Oh yeah.
Much like galaxies that haven't gotten a proper name yet. So there's a little overlap there.
See, I'm not totally full of shit.
Well, we're all at least half full of shit, right?
I mean,
Partially.
how fucking much? What are your bowels doing?
They're taking care of themselves. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Pulling their own weight, getting by.
So the baby juices, super clean, right? You like them.
This is, I mean, not my favorite style. That's not a secret, but this is a good beer.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing with hazies. Like, it's always dangerous when you say like, "Oh, here's a hazy IPA," and you're like, "All right, so like, what sweetness am I getting into? What almost indistinguishable flavors am I getting into?" But this has a way of actually, it's very flavorful. It has the notes that I'm sure the fucking hazy IPA kids want, and it is, I would say, a very. It's a good representation of this style, and dare I say, I like
No,
this
I do like
beer.
it. It's fine. And like I said, if somebody came to me and was like, I don't know what a hazy IPA is, this is a beer I would
Yeah.
hold up and be like, this is a hazy IPA.
Start them on this, and then
Like,
go
it's-
down that rabbit hole.
It's very much true to the style, as new as the style is. I mean,
Yeah.
it does
Like,
all
there's,
the things.
There's a
Yeah.
fair amount of hoppiness, and yes, you hold up to light and sure, it's hazy as it should be as a hazy IPA, and the sweetness is there, and the kids are gonna love it. But like, I think everybody is at this point when they look at the hazy IPAs, they expect it to be lactose and they expect it to be a milkshake IPA, and this is not that.
Yeah.
This is.
I think you can see there's a like 47% of people like the lactose beer. And that's always going to be the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. I mean, and, there's something to be said for creating a quote unquote like milkshake IPA, which is basically lactose in a hazy IPA, and you call it a milkshake.
Okay, I'm reading the comments that people left when they checked in this beer.
Oh boy, this is gonna be far more interesting than
terrible?
anything I had to say.
This
Please
could be a
continue.
game in itself.
No, most of
It
them are
is.
very positive, but this one
Yeah.
says, "This doesn't taste like babies." Frown.
Oh, boo.
Wow.
That's just messed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's either a stem cell fanatic or a fucking cannibal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
I mean, there's a
Jeffrey
reason
Dahmer?
There's a reason people pay more money for veal.
Really?
I mean, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's true.
This one says, "Keeps me young." 5 bottle caps.
Wow.
Hey, at least you got a 5 out of that.
Wait,
All right.
what site are you on?
Untapped.
Oh, you said 5 bottle caps.
Yeah, that's how you rate it. 5 bottle caps is the highest.
Wait a second.
You know, as an owner of a brewery in 2020, I would recommend you at least like take a look at Untappd. I mean, I know it's kind of annoying.
I never realized it was bottle caps.
No, it is. Yeah,
is that a real thing?
that's
I thought it was just like
system.
stars or something.
No, it's fucking bottle caps.
Did I just blow your mind?
So uncool.
So uncool.
I am so uncool. Yeah, but are they? You know, the problem is my eyesight's really bad. So, like, what you may see as
puts on his
they
reading
kind
glasses.
of are bottle caps. Sure.
This
Yeah,
person said weird name. ...
Yeah,
No
it
shit.
is a weird name. ... It is a weird name. I'll agree with that.
So no, you like you put it. I put it in the reading
You
glass.
know what's really cool?
What's really cool?
We actually have a new label for baby juices. We actually
really?
We had a really hard time trying to figure out how you would make a label for baby juices.
Go figure.
I mean,
And
just
it
like
took a-
one
it
solid
took
color
over-
and a very unassuming font.
It took over 2 years to figure it out. Let me see if I can find this for you. It's coming out in the next couple weeks, actually.
That's
once
awesome.
we
Oh, cool! New label, exclusive.
yeah, let me see if I can.
We'll
find
describe it for our listeners. since
So
they
you,
can't see
when
it.
he put his reading glasses, you were like, "Oh yeah, I put his reading glasses on." Yeah, it's kind of, a funny thing to watch. But like recently, I've looked at people doing that. And I'm
You'll
like,
be there one day.
No, I've
all
looked
right?
at people doing that. And I'm
Nothing
like, no,
funny.
that's
You have glasses on. right now.
I do, but I wish I didn't need them all the time. Putting reading glasses on is a very distinguished thing to have to do.
Oh, thank you.
See, I
I'm
was in
just-
your corner the entire time.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Okay, boomer.
What's going on? Hold on. I gotta find baby
I'm younger
juices.
than you.
I know. I just wanted to say it. I feel like we haven't had a good okay boomer in a while.
There's a reason.
That's not
for
even
that.
a thing anymore. People don't say it anymore, but I still think it's funny.
Oh, where is the stupid baby juices? Oh, there it is.
I like this one.
Oh, here it is. Updated JPEG. Corey.
Oh, there you go.
It's gonna happen. Oh, this is gonna
New
be
dash
awesome.
new dash final 101.
This is
fuck my
fucking
life.
crazy.
Dot
Dot
JPEG.
zero. Oh,
Can I see
I
it?
don't even know
Wait,
how
wait,
to-
there. Wait, whoa. Let it come in. Oh!
It's a bunch of storks, and that makes sense.
That's cute. What are they delivering hops? Are those hops?
That is great.
yeah. Do you see the little hop?
Yeah, I see the little
Yeah.
hops.
Oh,
The
that's
little hop
so
characters.
cool.
Like if you see if you look at the 6 feet of separation,
Yeah.
it's their babies.
Oh.
We have this very.
How did they
and
make
if you look
babies when
this-
they were so far apart?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Science, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really want to go there.
Well, I mean,
But
they're
yeah,
plants, and doesn't wind blow the
I'm super
seeds
excited.
and
Well,
And,
like, it's
and
like,
the, and the
have
hops
you ever-
the hops have binkies. You see the hops with the
That's
binkies.
cute.
The
That's
little
so great.
cute little
really
baby
cute.
hops. Oh,
I
look
love
at that.
That's awesome.
So have you
It
ever
is awesome.
you've done the thing where like you have a friend stand across the room and you throw like an M&M in the air and they catch it in their mouth? It's a similar process for the 6 feet separated
Yeah,
conception.
sure.
Just throwing their seeds across the
Just
6 feet.
I mean, you can fill in the details yourself.
Oh, I'm,
I
I'm
wasn't gonna-
trying.
terrible.
I'm
I wasn't
trying
gonna be
to.
crass and
Terrible.
come out and say it. That's a cool label. I do like that. That's cute. Little baby hops.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. I'm super excited about it.
That's awesome.
Did we decide which beer we're saving for last?
I was
call?
gonna say we've.
We saving one for
we
last
might
call?
need to finally broach
Oh,
that
boy.
topic.
Beer ducking.
Probably.
I feel like that's probably the last call beer.
So should we do peace offering?
I was gonna say yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
probably have like
Peace
one more
offering.
we should do in the episode proper.
So, which peace offering are you opening? This is how you tell which.
Yeah. That's
which
what I like
side you're
about this
on.
beer.
I don't know. The one they gave me.
Every
Uh,
4-pack has 2 different labels.
Oh,
Two different labels.
I grabbed this one.
Is that we're
Which
screwed
one
or we're
is it?
saved? I think that's we're saved, right?
Oh yeah, we're saved. Talk about the different labels.
I got this one. I got the We're Saved also.
I
Nice.
grabbed one at random. I got we're screwed.
Oh man!
Fire.
Whoa! There's a UFO.
Yeah, there's a
Someone
UFO abducting
wants
a dog.
recount.
Here's the thing. Someone wants a recount. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's the best quote of the night.
That is the best quote of the night.
We don't take sides, but
Yeah,
The
well,
cool
as
thing
a
about this
business,
beer-
you probably shouldn't.
We don't take some.
The cool thing about this beer is like as we were making, like we were trying to kind of put something together, something fun for the election season. We came up with this, having two beers that one way or the other you were gonna have, even if you were with someone that didn't think exactly like you did, one way or the other you were gonna have one beer or the other beer.
I love that in the corners of the one where everything's on fire, it's just two hops that are sitting there.
They're just watching the world burn.
Chairs, cheersing the end of the
Watching
world.
burn down. I know,
Ah,
isn't it
this
great?
is great.
I have a very important question regarding the label because I've just noticed this.
What's that?
So there on the We're Screwed label, there's a UFO in the background on the right-hand side that is like beaming up something.
Was that a cow?
It looks like some sort of animal, a four-legged creature. It's a very small silhouette, and I don't know what it's supposed to be.
I don't either. What is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can I see it?
It's kind of like that, like Mars Attacks label.
Yeah.
Where it's like everything is wonderful, everything is great, and that was kind of like what I was thinking when we were talking about what to do with the labels. I was like, it needs to be that Mars Attacks where it's like, oh, we come in peace, and then they throw the dove up, and next thing you know, like the Martians start just killing everyone.
Guys,
Uh-oh. What?
I just tried to
no.
pinch to zoom.
Oh,
On the
no.
fucking can? You fucking millennials.
It's not gonna work.
Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
yes.
That's funny. That is...
Man, you're an idiot.
That is funny. That is...
And you need to put that in your comedy book, but not admit that it was ever you.
No, you should admit it was you.
You have to. The key is you got to admit it was you.
That's pretty good.
Pinch
Yeah,
to
you should
zoom,
write that
pinch
down.
to zoom.
Pinching
Write it
to
down
zoom
right
on
now.
a...
Pinch
Yeah,
to zoom
that's
on
a
the
good
beer
one.
can.
Put that in your comedy book. That's a good one.
I feel like that might be a beer name too. Hold on, let me write
Pinch
that
to
down.
zoom.
Pinch to zoom or put that
Pinch
in your
to
comedy
zoom.
book.
Pinch to zoom. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. That's the tagline.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
Because there were 3 legs on it, and it was far away. I'm like, oh, I can zoom in on this. No, clearly I fucking can't. Because
It's gonna get all.
what was
It's
it?
gonna get all. It's gonna get all pixelated anyway. You're not gonna be able to see what it is.
God, what the fuck?
You know what's weird? I don't know what the there's like a light bulb on the We're Saved version. Like, why is
yeah.
there a light bulb? I should ask Corey about that.
Yeah, there's
It's
a lot of.
cute.
There's a lot going on in these cans.
But I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah.
Can I see the We're Saved version?
It's in the fridge to your left.
There's stuff in front of it.
Yeah,
Here,
sorry.
you can see the We're Saved version.
Ah, here
Yeah, it's got
it
the
is,
Statue of Liberty.
and there's a light bulb.
It's all nice and pretty.
Doves flying, super
Yeah.
peaceful.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
I like the
you know,
fire better.
I think that's cool too. I'm glad I enjoy drinking the We're Saved one better, but
I'll take We're Screwed any day.
oh no.
There's subtext there, I'm sure, that I didn't think about, and I apologize.
Yeah, so again, another fruity beer, Enigma hops, like ton of like coconut, kind of tropical. I get a lot of coconut. It's a just super clean, juicy beer.
I don't know that I get a whole lot of coconut.
I could see the coconut. It's not. It wouldn't. I wouldn't have described it myself that way.
Right.
But now that you've said it, yeah.
But it has there's a lot of nice flavors in it.
It's like there's like a sweetness, like a candiness in there,
And a touch of galaxy.
and a touch of galaxy.
And there is a touch of galaxy in there.
Andromeda.
Just because we can.
Right. Yeah. You could do a partnership with NASA. It'd be great.
Be awesome.
Well, Dogfish Head did the Celeste Jewel Ale,
Oh yeah.
which was yeast that had been to space.
Yep.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little gimmicky though.
Well, and there was a company at one point. I think you may have talked about this in the news.
I think so.
I'm
trying to remember.
That was making beer for astronauts.
Yeah,
and the whole
it
idea was that like carbonation in zero gravity is kind of an
it was
issue.
a partnership with students at some university.
Yeah, so they're trying to
and,
figure out how to make like a good drinkable beer that wouldn't like make your stomach explode on the space station or something like
This
that.
is
I don't
like
know.
6 years ago.
That was a long time ago, but I do remember talking about that.
Me too. There's a lot of beer that we have left to drink.
We have a
And
beer
I'll keep
ducking.
going, and we do have a beer ducking that we're going to get to in last call.
Should we wrap this and get to
Yeah,
last
so
call?
I'm
You know what we didn't do?
oh no.
I was just
no.
checking my bag of tricks. The anniversary ale.
Oh shit,
Oh.
we got to do that. We have to do that, and then we'll go to last call.
Steph doesn't have this one.
Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry, Steph.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
I personally picked this one up. I'd like to at least try it.
Yeah,
Since we have
I think
it here.
I think this has to be
Let's
talked
talk about
on
it
the
for a
air.
minute.
Yeah. So anniversary. You guys are coming up on your what is it? I'm guessing. I mean, time doesn't matter anymore. But second anniversary, correct?
It doesn't. We had this remote second anniversary celebration.
I mean, that's kind of fun though.
So when
Yeah.
exactly was your anniversary?
It's like October.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It was recent-ish.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't remember.
It was sometime when I didn't have to wear pants.
one day we're going to be like, was that in COVID months?
Yeah.
How many years
Yeah.
is COVID months?
It's like dog years.
Pre, during, or post COVID.
Yes, pre-COVID, post-COVID. Where were you?
I noticed as I'm pouring this that it is another hazy beer of sorts.
It is. It's a
Double IPA.
It's a juicy boy.
Double dry hopped.
I mean, it's their anniversary beer. Of course, it's going to be those things.
I like the artwork.
That's what they do.
Seriously, the artwork is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the beer.
I love it.
The can's really cool. I like the cake on
Yeah.
the front, and I like the font. Like the lettering here reminds me of like 1980s like A-Team or wrestling or He-Man. Like it has that
Yeah.
kind of vibe
Absolutely.
to it, which
Old.
is really cool. I like that.
Ooh, this is good.
You like it?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet.
I don't know if it's just the fact that I've been drinking and my thoughts are impaired, but I feel like I'm tasting a little bit of vanilla in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like orange
you
and
definitely get some
grapefruit.
notes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm real
yeah.
glad I'm not imagining that.
No, yeah, I get you. Yeah, this is definitely a little milkshakey because it's got like the
Well,
sweet citrus.
It's also like 8 or 9% alcohol. I don't know.
It's pretty high. Yeah, I didn't pour that much in my
It's
glass.
up there. It's got a kick to it.
Oh, I'm gonna be hungover tomorrow.
Uh-oh. It's not bad. I dig it.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not
I'm sorry.
bad.
Like honestly,
Not
like
bad.
dude, like
Not
here's
bad.
the thing.
That's like last episode when I said to Mike, it's actually good.
It's actually
He's
good.
like, actually?
here's the thing. You're like
I was expecting this to be terrible, and hey, not bad.
your
bad.
whole your like wheelhouse, as the kids say, is focused on a style of beer that just isn't my favorite. So when I like it, I'm surprised.
Well, thank you. I think.
Thank you. I think that's the best
right
I know
answer.
for.
I mean,
I'm just
so
gonna
here's.
stop. I just opened the beer duckin,
Oh man,
Is it
and
good?
it smells amazing.
of course it
You
does.
see the proximity
it's-
to my
yeah.
nose?
Yeah, it's pretty far.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
a good like
terrible.
I can
9
smell it.
inches. I heard it when I said it. It's fine.
I like the look that Dan gave me when I said kids say wheelhouse.
Because it's not
He
just
just
kids.
said it's like 9 inches, so I don't want to hear it.
Kids don't say wheelhouse.
No, they don't.
But I suppose
I was
that's
gonna
the
say
joke. That's-
wheelhouse, and then I realized it was sort of a cliche at this point. Like we've said wheelhouse. I don't know. It just felt like I had to qualify it somehow.
As the kids say, no taxation without representation.
No taxation without representation. Rudy
I
toot
don't
toot.
think the kids say that anymore.
They don't.
Exactly.
Hey, remember the Tea Party? I was
Yeah.
thinking about this the other day.
I know.
With
I
all the
long for
crazy
days
shit
of the
going
Tea
on.
Party.
I used
Hold
to
on.
think the Tea Party people were crazy. I was wrong.
Remember the rent is too damn high party? Oh God! When we could,
I think
joke.
Steph had something to say.
She did. Yes,
no,
please.
it's too late.
Oh no! I ruined
moment
your
has
moment. I'm
passed.
sorry.
That's fine.
So if you want to find Stolen Sun on the internet,
Oh.
Yes,
yeah.
please, John. Where should they
How
go?
do you do that?
Yeah, no. Besides the Google machine, like what should people
On the
type
interweb?
directly?
the Google machine.
Uh,
StolenSun.com. Facebook,
Yeah,
there's
Stolen
Stolen
Sun.
Sun.
Let the man promote his
Instagram,
own
Stolen
business.
Sun Brew.
He
I was
doesn't
trying to save him.
know.
I feel like
Does
he
it great.
forgot.
yeah, I mean it's the Instagram and the Facebook is great.
Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah. Do that. And
You
more-
know, here's the thing. I just realized if you pick up any internet connected device that is like within arm's reach of you right now and open up any place you can type text and type Stolen Sun, chances are
You're
pretty good you're going to end up where you need to be.
You're gonna find us. You're pretty much
it's
gonna find us.
well, it's either going to be that or it's going to be a picture of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns blocks out the sun.
Whoa. Is that true?
It is, yeah. Oh, I feel like there's plenty of beers you could make based off. No. There's plenty of beers you can make based off of that. You can have a giant arm blocking the sun, and it is the stolen sun.
I gotta see this here. Mr. Burns
I know far too much about. Remember the show Beat the Geeks on Comedy Central years ago?
I do vaguely remember that.
I could be the Simpsons geek.
Oh yeah, you could.
I
You totally
wanted
could.
to give that guy a run for his money.
You totally could.
Oh, that's
See? So when Trump looked at the eclipse, I was like, "Yep,
this is an actual GIF." They have the.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
That's a
blocking the
classic
sun.
episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
I love it, and that's one of the things that
How
leads
do
up to
I-
like the
oh,
murder of or
no.
the who shot Mr. Burns moments.
Oh God, remember that? Oh,
I
boy.
do. I tried to win the house. The house is in Henderson, Nevada.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Family ties to Henderson, Nevada.
Wow,
Yeah, I remember
is
that
cool.
comes
I
up
didn't-
on
I didn't
lists
know
of
that
like.
existed.
Yep.
This is great.
It doesn't look the same anymore, but there was you could win a house that was modeled after the Simpsons house.
Simpsons
the people
house.
that won it sold it to somebody else down the road, and they turned it into a normal looking house.
Yeah.
They turned it into a Mickey Mouse house.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. So you know where to go to look at Stolen Sun beer.
We're in Exton.
Hey, right.
We're in Exton.
Right off of,
we're right on Route 100.
100, that's what it was.
We're north of the Exton Mall.
Yeah.
There you are.
I've been to the
Yeah,
Exton Mall.
we're right
Yeah.
there. There's a Target right across the street from us.
Yes, there is. I got cat litter at that Target after we
Yeah.
recorded there last time.
Here's what I
There's
learned.
A Target right there.
What I learned last weekend. If you're in Philadelphia and you're traveling to Lancaster, Stolen Sun is like literally 2 minutes off your beaten path. Like
It is.
you can make a stop there.
It is a perfect stop.
Yeah, it's right
if
there.
you are within like 45 minutes of it, it is totally worth a stop. Maybe an hour. Let's say an hour. If you're within an hour of it, it's absolutely worth it.
At Beer Busters on Twitter and Instagram. On Facebook, we are Beer Busters Podcast on Facebook.
Yep, exactly. Don't forget patreon.com/beerbusters. Get all the access to Last Call, where we are going to try and drink turducken. We're going to drink it. We're not trying
We're
to
not
drink
going
it.
to try.
No.
It's
We
not gonna
are
be
going to
terrible.
drink it.
Like, hopefully we won't like choke it down.
No, God, no. I have a feeling that it's going to be.
I think
well
it's
worth
going to
it.
be okay.
And I really
Hopefully.
it absolutely will. And I really
it
hope
should be
that
all right.
you listen to this. You know, you one that you're doing okay, because life's fucking weird. Just you drink a beer, call a friend, call your mom, see how your mom's doing.
Yeah, and here's an idea: wear a fucking mask.
Wear a mask. That's also very.
It's not hard to
important.
do.
Obviously, we want to thank you for listening, and I feel like the last couple episodes we've recorded, I have just been like, let's get the last call and drink more and drink more. Thank you for listening. It does not go unappreciated. We could not do this without you that are listening, and we really hope that if you feel so inclined, you will rate and review on your podcast app of choice. And do that for all the podcasts that you listen to. That is
Tell your friends.
That's our currency. Tell a friend. See how they feel about it. Do they like beer? Do they like laughing? Do they like shitty jokes and a guy who tries to host a beer podcast who's kind of an asshole and dumb? Just tell them, let's listen to this.
Hey, Dan's going to be doing stand-up, by the way. You can
That
pay
is-
$4.99
Oh,
on
yeah.
That is another thing I was about to bring up. Yes.
Watch Dan do stand up. Watch
Thank you.
Dan do stand up
Thank
on the
you.
internet.
So,
What's going on here?
over the past couple of years, I've thought
John's
about
so confused.
I've thought about
Yeah,
doing
what's
stand up.
happening here?
I know it's a lot. It's a lot.
I think I liked this better when we were all together.
Trust me, I did too.
That's fair. There's
I don't like
something.
this remote thing.
there's something
happening 'cause
lost
I
in
can't quite
translation.
Tell what's happening.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about doing stand-up for literally years, like probably almost a decade, and I've been too afraid to do it. And earlier this year, I took improv classes at UCB in New York, and it was fucking great, and I loved it.
Oh my God. One of the last things I got to do before
Yeah.
COVID was to go to Manhattan and watch you do improv at UCB. That was so much fun. That whole fucking day. The show was great.
yeah.
It was brilliant. But then the rest of the day, we
Yeah.
just like wandered the city. And I think about that all the time because that was like one of the last
Yeah.
like big things I did before COVID. And New York
Wow.
became like a hot spot.
Yeah, it did. It
And-
absolutely
and-
did.
Oh, but yeah, your show was great.
Well, thank you.
I
It was
really enjoyed it.
fun. I'm really glad I did it. I stepped way outside my comfort zone, and it paid off. It
I
paid off
still remember Pip Pip
tenfold.
Cheerio.
Pip Pip Cheerio.
It doesn't sound funny, but if
I
you
know.
had seen it in the
It's
moment,
just-
it was
it's
hilarious.
in the moment. It's in the moment. So my love has always been stand-up comedy, and I decided that I was going to do. I was trying to do a stand-up class back then, and then the world fell apart. And then there became a virtual school. The school that I'm doing through is called Off Mic Comedy. It's run by somebody who is a super diehard, somebody who appreciates stand-up comedy, and the guy who's teaching my class is an old friend of mine that I used to work with when I worked in radio, and he's a well-known stand-up comic in Philly. His name is Jake Montera, and our show is coming up after this airs. So if you're listening to this new and you are so inclined, the show is going to be on Thursday, December 3rd, 7 to 9 p.m. You have to buy your tickets on Facebook. That's the only way they are selling them, but you get a link to Zoom immediately afterwards. It's super cool. Everybody that's in my class is hilarious. I'm nervous out my ass.
But it's like $5, right?
It's
like
$5.
Super cheap.
Yeah, it's $5. You're gonna get 2 hours of comedy, and there's a musician that's gonna perform.
Yeah.
and it's well worth it. And I would really appreciate if you like comedy and you want to support. Let's be honest, me. I would really appreciate if you watch the show, and it's great, and I can't wait to keep going with it. And this is like the thing that's gonna set me over the top for my love of comedy, and I can't wait to do it. So Wayne, Steph, thank you for buying your tickets to the show. If you're out there and you're listening,
I didn't actually buy it yet.
Steph, thank you for buying your ticket.
I did. I
Thank
got
you.
my Zoom link.
I'm going to. I just haven't done it.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's super supportive. The class is cool. Everybody's just in a real good space for it, and it's a great night of people who are very ambitious and want to make people laugh. And we can all use a laugh.
We can. And here's what I'm going to say. Like, I know, like, I have been to amateur, like, improv shows, and you think, like, amateur open mic stand-up, oh, it's like, it's not going to be funny. Maybe I'll laugh once every, like, 5 minutes. Let me tell you something. This guy right here to my left is my brother, and he's funny.
Oh, thanks.
And when here's the thing. When I try to be, I can't. I'm not usually funny at all.
No,
but
you
like, especially like trying to be funny,
it's hard.
It's super fucking hard. And Dan can do it. And I have every confidence that it's going to be a great show. And Dan said it's going to be great. And you should watch it, and you should follow him because he's going to do more comedy stuff in the future, and it's all going to be awesome. And you should check it out.
Thank you.
That's why this is
Thank
my
you for
ringing
saying that.
ringing endorsement because
Thank
I know
you.
it's like amateur comedy show. Like, oh, it's going to be shit. No, it's not. I've seen other things that he's been in, and he picks good company, and he's good at it. So you should check it out.
Well, goddamn, I'm going to cry.
Don't cry.
Don't cry. I'm not going to cry.
Please wrap up the
Thank you.
episode now because I have to pee.
Yes, exactly. But on that note, that does.
But it's kind of like, what else are you gonna watch? What else are you gonna do?
Also, like, here's the biggest.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out.
The best selling point. Do you really have anything better to do? And it's
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna watch the
$5.
news. Who's gonna watch the fucking news? I'm gonna watch this
the
show.
important news is done. I mean, just fucking. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
If I have my choice, I'm gonna watch comedy.
Well, have I got a show for you, my friend?
Wait,
I need
can
a laugh. I need a laugh.
Can we quote Jonathan to promote this?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm in.
Do it.
Yeah, we did this. I'm going to finish the anecdote.
What else
shortly.
are you going to do?
Last night was our last class before the show, and we all did our sets that we're going to do at the show. Everybody fucking killed, and I loved it.
Nice.
It's just a group of people who love laughing and love making people laugh, and that's the environment you need. So it'll be maybe I will post. We'll post on our Beer Buster stuff. It's going to be on my stuff. I'm at Nadracab on Twitter and Instagram. I'll have it posted on there.
NADREKAB.
Just spelled Dan.
And then
Baker.
backwards. Nadracab.
I also formed an LLC with that name, and I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with it. So sure, here goes nothing.
There you go.
But that, unfortunately, my friends, brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters with another 43 seconds to go. Jonathan, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being here.
Oh my god, this is awesome.
It's
I'm just still trying to figure out how to spell your name backwards.
We'll link it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
All right, yeah. Make sure you link it because I can't spell backwards.
Don't worry. You listening to this right now, Stolen Sun, you need to get all of their beer and all of their coffee, and just when things are safe to be close to people, talk to the people that are there.
Super cool business.
Yes.
Worth your support.
Exactly. Well, hey, I'm Dan
Thank
Baker,
you.
joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and the demented and fermented.
Wayne Baker. You thought you had so much time, and now it's
I
gone.
did.
Fucking problematic holes.